Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Experience. My name is Earl Cole, ladies and gentlemen, and tonight is Thursday night, and you know what that means. It's time for the Wrestling Experience. The mothership is back in the airwaves, ladies and gentlemen, back in space. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to beam some Earthlings aboard, and we're going to get crunk here tonight on the Wrestling Experience. So stand by, ladies and gentlemen, because it's Thursday and you've landed on the mothership. And once again, we are going to land on Planet Experience. This is Thursday. This is the Wrestling Experience.
Now with the hottest show in the universe, the Wrestling Experience, with your host, Earl Cole.
Acknowledge me.
Coming at you with all the dope shit, freshest WWE content, and also the AEW. You are now watching The Experience, the Wrestling Experience. Now with your host, Earl Cole.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Experience. My name is Earl Cole, ladies and gentlemen. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Earl and Sarah present to you the Wrestling Experience. And tonight, we're going to get experience indeed, ladies and gentlemen. We have some very special guests coming on in just a nanosecond. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here alone, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, ladies and gentlemen, no, no. Ladies and gentlemen, she was here with me last night, ladies and gentlemen. And she's going to help me with this wrestling experience, ladies and gentlemen. She's fun, she's passionate. She's part of the Queens of the Ring, ladies and gentlemen, and she's got a friend named Denty who's her bestie. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the champion of champions. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the one and the only. So let's add it to the sky.
Hi, Earl. How are you?
I am doing well, Sarah. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, our guest Hooligrim and Christina will be here very shortly. I hope that they don't have any computer problems or link problems or anything, but they should be here very shortly. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna present to you. We're going to present to you AEW Dynamite. And ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the one and the only. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome her. She's back from the wrestling experience, ladies and gentlemen. She's great. She's passionate. She's loyal, ladies and gentlemen. She's the apple of everyone's eye, ladies and gentlemen. Please help me welcome the one and the only Christina the
Hi, guys. It's been a while. How y'all doing?
Good,
How are
Christina. Good, Christina. How are you tonight?
I'm doing okay. How was y'all Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was fantastic.
Awesome.
Yep,
Had a lot
it
of
was.
turkey, stuffing, ham, you name it. Had it all.
Yeah. Well, I scaled it down a little bit this year.
Oh, okay.
Had a oven stuffer roaster. Had a sweet potato. Had garlic mashed potatoes. And my famous sakatumi gravy, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So, we are awaiting our other guest, ladies and gentlemen, Hologram. Hooligrim is supposed to be here, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully he will come in here in a nanosecond, ladies and gentlemen, and be part of this telecast. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me just put what's on our menu tonight. What's coming out of this cookpot's menu, ladies and gentlemen? we have some buffet for you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes, we do. First of all, we're going to be discussing AEW Dynamite. We're going to discuss that last night. We have that to do. We also have, ladies and gentlemen, the Survivor Series to rewind. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to talk about with that Survivor Series. And yes, we have some wrestling news to get to. So we got all of that crammed into one. But before we begin, I just want to just say one thing. You know something, ladies and gentlemen, this wrestling experience, this show has been one of the most hottest things we've ever done on the internet, ladies and gentlemen. And I have to thank everyone that comes on board this mothership, ladies and gentlemen. This show has been so successful, ladies and gentlemen. It has spawned t-shirts, it has spawned comments, and it has spawned everything else in between. So I want to thank you all once again for doing all of that and giving me the views and all of that. And you know, Christina has been involved with my show many times over, and she has successfully, ladies and gentlemen, successfully has helped me with this show and beyond, ladies and gentlemen. So, Christina, I'm going to formally tell you, and I'm going to give you the good news that
Oh,
you are now part of the Wrestling Experience Hall of Fame. Yes, Christina. Yes, Christina.
no, be
Yes,
quiet. No.
no, yes, Christina, you are now part of the Hall of Fame.
Oh my
You join people like DJ Storms. You have joined people like Esteban Morales, ladies and gentlemen,
God.
Cameron, and so many others who have graced this show. So
Oh,
again, Christina, congratulations on being inducted into the Wrestling Experience Hall of Fame.
oh my
I,
God. Thank you so much, Earl. I was not expecting that. And
you
it's
des-
always a pleasure to be on your show talking about wrestling, recapping everything. I was not expecting that. So at least
you
I get to
deserve.
at least I get to be a part of the Hall of Fame or something.
Yeah,
But thank you so much.
you deserve it, Christina, and you have been a loyal soldier, just like Sarah was, ladies and gentlemen. And Sarah has always been and Sarah was elevated. You know, me and Mitch Kosky, Orange Cassidy's bestie. We were we were
What
talking about.
what
We,
does he have against Orange Cassidy? I love
ask
that man
him,
so much.
ask him. I've asked him.
I don't
Uh,
wanna get
The
I don't
world may
wanna get my
never
ears.
know.
Oh God.
I'll tell you this much, Christina. I've asked Mitch that question 578 times. And I think I've run out of it. I think I have run out of asking that question.
Well, try to ask me
Ladies.
200 more times and you're still gonna get the same answer. Sorry.
Exactly. Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, while we wait for Hooligrim to come in here and get this, we're going to start, ladies and gentlemen, with the show. We're going to start with some wrestling news. So, let's start with this, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like I'm Walter Cronkite, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, anyway,
Well, you
ladies and
got the bar going, moving across the bottom of the screen, so
True.
you just
Exactly.
need that music.
Yeah, she's not wrong.
Exactly, ladies and gentlemen, and that's the way it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Walter Cronkite used to say. Um, so anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there is a rumor, guys, that Mercedes Bonet is coming back to the WWE.
I heard
Oh,
about that.
wow.
My older brother just told me about that like a day or two ago. And
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if she
boy.
does come back. The question is she gonna come back as that name or Sasha Banks?
Well, you know something, I wouldn't mind a character change for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it at all because here's the thing that's really intriguing. Right now, she's injured,
Mm-hmm.
as I said, and the rumor mill is that she could possibly return. Now, as you all know, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know the backstory to this story, Sasha Banks and Naomi quit WWE on May 13th,
I remember that. I remember that.
and we haven't seen them since.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so here's the thing: everybody was dumping on Sasha Banks, talking about how unprofessional she was when she walked out. But here's the thing that I don't understand, and here's the thing that I don't get: when somebody is broken down mentally
Mm-hmm.
and they're not being heard, or their ideas to creative are not being met, what do you think the person is supposed to do?
Exactly. What do you think they're supposed to do? Do you think they're supposed to take it? No.
What are you telling me that that somebody's just supposed to sit there and get spoon fed all the stuff that's
No.
been fed? No.
Absolutely not.
No, no, we wouldn't take that in our daily lives at work, and
Mm-mm.
certainly we wouldn't take that anywhere else from anyone else.
Nope. Absolutely not.
Very
So
true.
she protected her mental health,
Hmm.
and she protected her self-being, and she walked.
Hmm.
And everybody should understand that, but a lot of people didn't.
And here's the thing, though. She was under when Vince McMahon was in control.
Right, exactly.
Now that Triple H is in charge now, things gonna be very different. And seeing how
Yes.
he's bringing out all these people coming back and creating all these factions and everything, like under Triple H's umbrella, a lot of things have changed. Look what happened this past weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would not be surprised if she came back under Triple H's umbrella. I just hope that for the sake of her mental health and for everything, they make her return and do her right.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. Sarah, what do you think about that?
I think she needs to do whatever is best for her.
Mm-hmm.
So if what's best for her means going to WWE or New Japan or AEW or Impact or wherever, staying on the indies, she needs to do what's best for her. So I mean, if she gets any kind of a funny feeling about anything, she needs to listen to her gut.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So I wouldn't mind seeing her anywhere, really. It wouldn't matter to me.
As
But
long
like
as
Chris,
she's
to
thriving.
yep, and to Christina's point, she left, I think, because it was like you said, it was the creative, and it was a different WWE
Mm-hmm.
when she left.
Yep.
Now
Right.
things have changed, and I think that is part of what is drawing people back to want to come back, is because they are seeing the differences.
Mm-hmm.
They're in communications with some of the superstars that are still there, and they're saying how different things are. So I think it's a good possibility she could go back, but I wouldn't mind seeing her in AEW or WWE. It doesn't really
Mm-hmm.
make a difference to me as long as she's all right.
As long as she's happy.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah,
want to
and
see her. I just want to see her. I just want to see her thriving. That's all you want.
yeah, and another thing too is I'm glad you guys brought that up. When Vince McMahon was in charge, ladies and gentlemen, he refused. He refused to take her phone calls.
Of course he did.
He,
Of course
he
he did.
refused. She wanted to have a meeting with him on several occasions, and he told her no.
Of
I'm
course
not
he.
surprised.
I'm not surprised either.
Like I said, he's
That's
petty
not.
as hell. So
Yeah, but you know something.
There's a saying goes, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I
Right,
really kind of agree.
exactly. Here's the thing. I have a pet peeve. And a
Mhm.
lot of people don't know this, but I have a pet peeve. I don't like to be ignored.
Oh, I hate that too. I hate that
I
too.
don't like to do that. I hate being ignored. I hate being ignored, especially if I send you messages and I
Mhm.
and I send you emails and it goes unanswered. I don't like that
No, I hate that too. I despise
because
that.
that drives me up the wall.
And not only that, it's disrespectful too.
Yeah, it's not professional.
No,
It's
it's
not
not.
mhm.
professional.
It's very
It's it's
unprofessional.
it's not professional to do that.
Mhm.
If somebody sends you an email, answer the email.
Mhm.
Well,
Answer the phone call.
especially if she's coming at him correctly. I could
Yes,
see if she was
Yeah.
being a
and
jerk or
especially
something,
right,
but
exactly. I mean, if you send a professional email to
mhm,
somebody,
Hmm.
whether it's your boss or your coworker or your best friend or whatever, answer the email.
Hmm. Exactly. I
Answer the
mean,
email. Don't
you,
ignore the message.
just say one word or a sentence or something.
Right,
Let them
exactly.
know.
Exactly. Tell me what's up.
It
mhm,
doesn't take you a whole day to reply to somebody.
No, no, no,
yeah,
no.
Maybe like 1 second, 5 seconds, a minute. Just take some time out of your day to reply to somebody. Or you say if you're busy, say, hey, I'm pretty busy right now. I'll get back to you when I have time. Show some courtesy and diplomacy.
mhm,
It's not that
Yeah,
hard.
and I'm glad that you brought that up, Christina, because here's the thing. I don't, a lot of people today, a lot of people don't have common courtesy. A lot of people were
No, they
not
don't.
born with common courtesy. And something, I'm the
Nope.
kind of person that I don't bend over backwards for just anybody. But if I feel that if you're going to
Right.
ignore me, if I feel that you're going to ignore me, and you're going to not bother with what I have to say, or you don't want to hear what I have to say, I'm we're done. We're done.
Hmm.
Because I don't have time to waste on playing merry-go-round with you. I can't do that. I don't have
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have that time in the day to do that. I don't have time to go back and
No.
forth with you. I'm
We
sorry,
don't have the
but
time. We don't have the time to deal with stupidity and nonsense because we're all grown
exactly
adults. We
right,
have our own busy lives and personal things for just situations we
right,
gotta take care of. And like my brother says, but the fluency can only come so far. And when it's out the window, that's it. You're done.
right. So
True.
When Mr. McMahon did that, I had already said, well, I think she should just wash her hands of him and the WWE altogether. And boy,
Yeah.
did my words come back to come to fruition because she quit.
Yeah.
Um, uh, and I what was that, sir? I'm sorry.
I said that's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it just doesn't make any sense.
It
No.
doesn't. And
If
when word came out that they both quit, I remember I quote tweeted something and it got in a lot of traction, a lot of attention, and I still have that tweet pinned on my profile to this day, the day that it happened. And it goes to show you that it really had an impact with Sasha and Naomi literally leaving. So you got to think, it really had an impact. So it affected not just them, it affected the whole company.
yeah, and, again, like I said before, I said again. That was not good business sense. To do that,
Mm-mm.
to ignore the person,
Nope.
especially if
Nope.
they're screaming at you to listen to them. Um,
Oh
and
God, please. Don't do not scream in my ear. My ears will ring and my ears will burn. No, thank you. I don't need to be yelled or screamed. No, I'm good. No.
Well, if you would have listened to them the first time, they wouldn't be
And don't be yelling
screaming.
at me like I'm a kid. And don't be yelling at me like I'm a kid because I will yell back. I don't think so. I don't want my
Yeah,
ears bleeding or
yeah.
ringing.
Yeah. Well, nobody wants to be talked
Just
to like a
saying.
child. Nobody wants to be talked to like a child. No,
No.
that is something you
Exactly.
shouldn't be doing.
Hmm.
That is something you shouldn't be doing. Um, but
Hmm.
again, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the rumor is that she may come back, and you know what? If she does come back, she's gonna come back to a different WWE. Because no, I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen, the WWE product is improving slowly but surely. The quality of
Oh,
matches
absolutely.
is yeah,
Absolutely.
the quality of matches are improving, ladies and gentlemen.
And
And
yeah. And even
yeah,
the female wrestlers are getting even more screen time than they were before, and
right,
that's a huge
exactly.
improvement.
Yeah,
And
that is a
mhm.
vast improvement from what we have
We all know
seen.
if Vince was still in charge, if it was up to him, we'd still be having brawn panty matches.
Oh, no,
Let's lot
can
You
I
goes
know what I
in.
may I
mean?
please say something? May I please say
If it
something?
was up to him, that's
Go
what it
Oh,
would
ahead.
be.
oh God. I hate bringing this name up, but forgive me for saying this. Have y'all seen the tweet?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I think about that. That's what I think about.
Anyway, have y'all seen the tweet? I don't know if y'all seen it, but on Twitter or X, whatever the heck you want to call it, I still call it Twitter. Have you seen the tweet about Eva Marie claiming she's the highest paid female in WWE and Meg claiming she wants to make a comeback? No, absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely
No, no,
not.
I let me tell you something.
No.
Eva Marie coming back to the WWE.
Oh
No,
God, no.
no.
No. No.
How many times did Eva Marie get fired from WWE? Let me see. Let me see if I
Wasn't
can.
it twice?
Let
Wasn't it
me.
twice?
It feels
I
like
think it was
29 times. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
reality is twice, but in your case, I'd rather go
29
with your wording.
times.
And
On this mothership, ladies and gentlemen, it's 29 times. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, my rules, my ship. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right.
But anyway, getting back to Sasha Banks, ladies and gentlemen. I agree with the article. I agree with the assessment. I would like to see her come back.
Mhm.
I would like to see her come back. Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the next story, I just want to let you all know something. Last Monday night on Raw, ladies and gentlemen, Triple H was not available. He wasn't at Raw last Monday night because he had other WWE stuff to do. So who ran WWE Raw? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bruce Pritchard. Bruce Pritchard
Oh God, no
ran
wonder why.
the entire show, but the show was good.
I don't
He
know if
There
it
took
was
was
some
you.
parts of
necessarily
the show
good
that were
because
a
of
little.
him, or if it was good
I
because Triple
mean,
H already planned everything out and he was
Right,
just
well, yes.
executing it.
And
I think Triple H probably planned everything out.
ladies and gentlemen, let's add Hooligrim. He's here. Hooligrim. And
Can you,
Hooligrim, how are
can you hear me?
you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Are you live right now?
Yes, I
Yes, we're
am.
live.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I, s- I thought it was 5:30. I'm so terribly sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. That's
You're
fine.
not that late. It's
Today
all good.
It's all
today
good. We
You're
just got
okay.
started.
Fine.
We
You're
we
fine.
just got started. We just got started. We were talking about Hooligrim.
You're good. You didn't miss anything.
Right. We
Hi
were
everybody, by
talking.
the way. I'll be on camera in 1 second. Sorry, I didn't realize he was live. I don't have any notifications or anything saying that you're live, so I had no idea, and I totally
Oh,
thought it was like at
that
5:30,
that
like
that
4:30.
that that, that
Oh, okay, that's
it's
fine.
all gravy.
It
It's all
happens.
gravy. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It
Good.
happens. It
It
happens. It
happens. It
happens.
happens. I always tell people all the time when we are live. I always tell them turn on that notifications bell because you just never know when the red light comes on and
Yes.
I go live, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you miss a day, you miss a lot here at the Wrestling Experience, ladies and gentlemen. If you
Yes.
all just joined us on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the Wrestling Experience. I am your host, Earl Cole. That is my co-pilot, Sarah, and my co-host. And of course, that's Hooligrim. And then, of course, it's Christina. And Christina, ladies and gentlemen, has officially been inducted in the Hall of Fame here at the Wrestling Experience. And congratulations again, Christina. It's well deserved.
Thank you.
So we were in the middle
Thank
of talking
you.
about. You're welcome. And we were talking about Mercedes Monday. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have some good news for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have some good news. Ladies and gentlemen,
Hmm.
this has not been official, but it looks like it's going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, the first inductee in the WWE Hall of Fame will be Bray Wyatt.
Thank
Bray
God.
Bray Wyatt
Oh my
will be
God.
inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh my
This
Rightfully
God.
so.
Oh my
and
God.
this is the right thing to do.
Fact.
The Hall
I
of
agree.
Fame
Yeah.
committee is getting together next week, and they are going to
I'm gonna
probably
cry.
make this official.
I don't want to
I
cry because that's one of my brother's favorite wrestlers.
I know. You know something, ladies and gentlemen? I don't think it's going to be a dry eye in the house when we go to the Hall of Fame induction ceremony because Bray Wyatt deserves it.
Oh yeah,
Oh, 100%.
he does deserve
Bray
it.
Wyatt
He does
deserves to
deserve
be in the
it.
WWE Hall of Fame, and I agree with this assessment.
Oh my God.
Ladies and
I can't
gentlemen,
wait.
I can't wait. Ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's some good stuff. Ladies and
I
gentlemen.
like that.
Okay, spoiler alert, my brother and I are probably gonna cry. Well, my brother, because that
Yeah.
was one of his favorites.
Yeah.
That was one of
And
his favorites, you know.
yeah,
What's
and
ironic is that I wasn't the biggest Bray Wyatt fan, and I think I made that, like, to those that know me, they know that pretty well. Not so much obviously because of It was mostly the booking that and the Fiend characters. The when I really started having, I liked everything about Bray Wyatt until the Fiend character. But my point being is that you announcing that, I thought I saw something on Twitter earlier today about potential Hall of Fame inductees. So I didn't know that it was like a thing. And when I saw his name on the list, I thought for sure like he absolutely should be on this year's Hall of Fame. I don't know how strict WWE is on the whole 5-year rule, but when it happens, like when somebody tragically passes like that, I think that he was going to end up in the Hall of Fame regardless. So might as well just give it to him now. And also because Jay Briscoe, like I'm a huge Briscoe Brothers fan, because he passed away this year too. Like, and since he was never in WWE, he's not going to get probably ever that accolade. So I think that Bray Wyatt getting this accolade, for me, I'm going to attach that to Jay Briscoe a little bit as well. And so, it kind of hit me in the feels when you just said that.
Yeah.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, there also a rumor also going into the Hall of Fame. The Hebner brothers will be going into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dave and Earl Hebner will be going. If you all don't know who Dave and Earl Hebner,
the referee twins.
Yeah, if you all don't know who Dave and Earl Hebner was, ladies and gentlemen, they were a iconic wrestling referees. They were twin referees, and they debuted in the WW. Well, it was called WWF back then, but they debuted in the Market Square Arena, ladies and gentlemen, Indianapolis, Indiana, on Saturday night's main event when they screwed Hulk Hogan out of the title. Andre the Giant and Bobby Heenan were involved in that transaction, ladies and gentlemen.
Fun fact, the very first time my eyeballs saw wrestling was WrestleMania 3, and it was the promo backstage where Mean Gene Okerlund was interviewing, I think he was interviewing Andre the Giant. So the very first wrestler I ever saw was Andre the Giant on my TV screen in that promo. And then I proceeded to see that whole match with him and Hogan, and then the Hebner brothers doing the switcheroo. That was the very first time I ever saw professional wrestling in my life. And I think I was about 8 years old. So the fact that they're getting inducted, like, this has been a humbling year in the sense of like, a lot of things from my childhood have been coming back around and are going away. And so this is another just addition, I guess, to that. But seeing them get the Hall of Fame nod would be awesome, because those guys Earl Hebner was literally the third entity in professional wrestling I ever saw as a child. So that's going back to like the very beginnings for me. So I think that's pretty badass.
Yeah, you know something. A little backstory to you guys. I met the Hebner brothers in Madison Square Garden. I met them, and they were the nicest guys you could ever imagine. They were getting on the bus, and I was going home from Madison Square Garden event, and I asked them. I said, "Do you mind if I just shake your hand?" And at the time I didn't have a cell phone at that time, but I did shake their hand, and they gave me a hug and everything else. And they said, "Did you enjoy the show?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "Drive safely to your next city." And I said, "Thank you so much for gracing Madison Square Garden and everything else." So yeah, that was something that I will never forget. All right, I will.
That's cool.
I will
That's amazing.
I will never forget that. I will never forget that. They were the nicest.
I mean, they were like when you think of like faces of the WWF, if you grew up in that time period, obviously,
yes, I did.
Howard Finkel is going to be a face. Mean Gene Okerlund. And when you think about referees, you think Dave and Earl Hebner. I don't remember if it was Earl or Dave. One of them had a son that was a SmackDown referee for a while too.
Yes, that was Earl Hebner's son.
It was
Brian Hebner. Yes, Brian Hebner. Yes.
What happened to him?
He was in Impact and he was an Impact referee for a very long time.
Oh,
And he decided to step down and retire from the business because he says at the time there he wasn't treated well in Impact, and
Oh,
his father was getting older, and after a while doing refereeing and getting bumps and all of that, it takes a toll. It takes a toll
yeah,
on you.
it does.
And I remember Brian's greatest moment was when he refereed the match with Eddie Guerrero
yeah.
in No Way Out
Oh,
in San
yes.
Francisco, California.
That's when Eddie
And
came out on the lowrider for the first time, wasn't it?
yeah, and Brian Ebner was the referee, and Eddie Guerrero did some trickery, ladies and gentlemen.
Mhm.
Brian Hebner got wiped out in the match. He was knocked
Yeah.
out, and Brian and let his soul rest in peace. Eddie Guerrero went there and he frog splashed the on top of the opponent with the title belt, and Taz was going apoplectic because Taz was on the commentary, and Taz was like, he cheated. He kept telling Michael Cole he cheated. He cheated. But the referee was down. He didn't see it. You can't call what you don't
Hey,
see.
it's not cheating. Hey, it's
You
not cheating
can't.
if you don't
Is
get
that when
caught.
he threw the title at him and the
Yeah,
dude caught it and he
yeah,
fell down?
yeah. What happened was is when Eddie got to the cover and the referee got to he threw the title out and it came to the feet of Taz. And Taz was saying that he cheated. He kept screaming in the microphone he cheated. But there was nothing the referee can do about it. The 3 count was already ministered. We had a new champion, and the crowd went apoplectic. And Eddie Guerrero went into the audience and celebrated.
I'm not gonna
It,
lie, I cried when he won. Oh my god, I was
it
screaming
was
at the
it was a
TV.
it was one of those moments, ladies and gentlemen, you needed to witness yourself.
Mhm.
But that's I'm old school, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm cool, ladies and gentlemen. That's how antique I am, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes
You're
to
not
wrestling.
antique. You've
Antique?
aged like a fine wine, Uri.
There you go. There you go.
All right, I like that. I'll
You've
take
aged
that.
like
There
a
you
fine
go.
wine.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this for a second. This happened at the Survivor Series. Apparently, Oscar was involved in a car accident,
Oh my
ladies and
goodness.
gentlemen,
What?
leaving the Allstate Arena. Now, let me explain to you what happened. Oscar was backing out of the garage of the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois, when 15 to 20 fans surrounded her car.
Jesus
Oh my
Oscar,
Christ.
god.
Oscar got spooked. Oscar got spooked and put the gas on the car and accidentally hit one of the WWE officials' car that was in front of her.
Oh my god.
Um,
No,
nobody,
these fans are relentless, dude.
nobody was hurt in the incident.
Thank
However,
God.
Oscar's car was damaged
Ay, Dios
along
mío.
with the WWE's official in front of her.
Oh my God,
Now,
that's
now
horrible.
I'm going to give you a little backstory here. WWE fans, ladies and gentlemen, are absolutely, some of them, not all of them, some
They're
of them
rude.
are, yeah, they're rude. And I'll explain to you what happened. Oscar, when she landed in the airport last week, the fans were surrounding her. Ladies and gentlemen, there were
Oh, I remember
15,
that one. I saw that
there
video.
was 15 to 16 people, ladies and gentlemen, surrounded
And those people
Oscar
should all
in,
be paying for the damage to the vehicles.
yeah, and
Right?
15 to 16 people, ladies and gentlemen, surrounded Oscar in the airport
Did you
and
see how
took,
most of them were pretty much grown ass men?
Oh
yes,
no,
Yeah,
that
I
was
saw that.
yes,
Yeah,
that was
yes,
that
insanity.
was
and
Fucking
they,
ridiculous.
disgusting.
yeah,
It is
and they
disgusting.
they took her luggage, ladies and gentlemen. One of the men took her luggage. Now listen to this. He took her luggage and put it in the room of the airport and would not give it back to her until she gave autographs to everyone that was surrounding her in the airport.
That's
Well, get the hell out of
crazy.
here. That is
He
ridiculous.
would not make her, they would not make her leave. Asuka then had to get on the phone and call WWE's head of security, who was also in the airport, to break up the melee that was going on. And the men cursed at Asuka because she refused to give them the autograph.
Jesus Christ.
Asuka then had to go for 1 hour and 15 minutes around the airport looking for her luggage.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
And this was absolutely ridiculous.
Why are
People
people so
suck.
disgusting?
People
I-
suck, dude. I'm sorry. People really suck.
I'm sorry. Here's the thing here's the thing. First of all, nobody's no. If I was the WWE superstar and I come off the airport and I see some fans coming up to, first of all, I would stop them dead in their tracks, and I said, I'm not signing any autographs, not signing a thing.
Exactly.
I need time to breathe. I am a human
Yeah.
being just like you, and I need time to digress.
They don't understand. They don't stand respect and
Please
privacy.
get
Like, is that in their
on,
language?
please get
Part of
get
this
out
to
of
me,
Get away.
part of this to me is on WWE though, because their employees are literally recognized globally, like Michael Jackson was back in the 80s, like Madonna was, like
Yes.
NSYNC, Britney
Yeah.
Spears. Like, why don't all these superstars either travel together or have security with them at all times? I don't understand that.
Yeah, so
Holy has a good point.
yeah,
Because
you have a good
I'm actually
point.
glad
You have a
pointed
good
out,
point.
because
I don't
I
understand
see.
why they don't have bodyguards.
They are in
Here's the
certain
thing, yeah,
aspects.
yeah.
They're celebrities as well, are they not?
Yeah, they are.
Yes, they are.
I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you this much. Roman Reigns, um, Heyman, Roman Reigns, and I believe, what's the other wrestler? I'm drawing a blank.
Is he part of the bloodline or not?
No, he's not part of the bloodline.
Okay.
Alexa Bliss. They all have private security. Now, when they come off the plane, ladies and gentlemen, you are not allowed. You are not
To approach them.
allowed to go over and approach them. You're
Correct.
not allowed.
But
Because
they probably
they're
pay for that out of their own pocket.
right. Their private security, ladies and gentlemen, will tell you.
Yeah,
You're
don't
not
approach.
doing that here. You're not doing
Yeah.
that here.
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
It's
You're not
sad that
doing
they
that
have to
here.
Every
do that.
single one.
Like
You're not doing
WWE
Every
should
single
provide that
one.
for them, especially the women, especially if they're flying solo. Like the women should have
Yes.
security at all times. They really should. Ever since that incident with Mercedes Moné when she was Sasha Banks, Mercedes Varnado, when she started posting those videos online and was getting all that flack because people were saying she had an attitude and this and that, and it's like it's 3 a.m. You can tell her makeup's not done. She's got a ball cap on. She's clearly trying to be a little incognito. This is not the time nor the place to be fan geeking out and rushing her with your action figures and your posters and whatnot. And then, like I said, mostly it's understandable if a little kid runs up to you, you know. These are grown ass men that are mobbing these superstars, especially the women, because they're smaller and they're more feeble. I don't remember seeing videos in recent memory of dudes mobbing one of the male superstars because they know better.
Yeah, because they didn't want to. If they even try to do that, they either get Claymored or DDT'd or whatever. So
exactly.
Yeah, the women are usually a little more approachable and a lot kinder and less likely to. I've been shut down by That's the whole reason why I don't like the Boston Celtics was my dad worked in the hotel industry and I got to meet a lot of wrestlers and NBA players and stuff in my childhood. And the Celtics were staying at the hotel my dad was working at one time. And so I went down there to get their autographs and Kevin McHale was in the lobby at the front desk. And as he was walking away, I walked up to him and approached him and I said, hi, Kevin. I approached him very polite, said I was a fan, asked him if I could get his autograph and held out my pad and pen. And he said, "Nah, beat it, kid." And he just kind of did the motion with his hand, like, get out, like, get off of me, like, shush, get out of here. And
hell no, absolutely not. What a
I think I was like 6 or 7. I think I was in first or second grade when he did that. And
wow. What a
and that was at
scumbag.
the airport. He would just checked into his hotel, and I get like, if you're a little kid, maybe I wouldn't probably like go that extreme to a little kid, because you can really like,
Yeah.
you can really damage a kid's psyche doing that. But when these are grown ass men attacking, like just they're mobbing these female superstars is what they're doing. And
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Asuka, no, she had just gotten done posting that video. How many days ago was that? It was just not that long ago. And
It wasn't nice. It wasn't that long ago. But I'm gonna just jump on here for you all have to respect these wrestlers. You really do. Give them their space. They're human beings just like you. You don't have to be. Why do some people got to be so animalistic? The minute you
God,
see
yeah.
somebody, when you see somebody, why do you gotta go carrying on? Now that was uncalled for. You touched a woman's private property.
It's unnecessary.
You don't touch someone's private property.
Exactly, you don't.
And
why a
hiding
lot
it
of them do it,
behind
though?
your back. What was that, Hulu? I'm sorry.
I said, I think a lot of these guys do it because all they see is dollar signs. They think that the autograph on the unopened action figure is going to net them thousands of dollars, when in actuality, it's not worth any more than if the superstar didn't sign it. It just depends on if you can find somebody to pay money for it or not. So
that's what they really want to do. That's what their intentions are. That's what their real intentions are.
Ladies and gentlemen, after this incident, one Rhea Ripley, ladies and gentlemen, tweeted.
Oh, I remember that.
She tweeted, ladies and gentlemen, people need to respect that no means no. She said at the airport, she says at the airport, do not follow me outside of the airport. Today, I'm putting me off completely. I am not signing anything, she says, that isn't personal photos of us anymore. Hate me, I don't care. Disagree with me, I don't care. Try to put yourself in our shoes. I'm bloody Rhea Ripley. I agree with that.
Yep. Same.
I love how she's staying in character while putting that tweet out too. That was awesome.
I love it. But I agree with her.
She was another one that had put out a tweet about some incident that she had a year or two back at the airport where fans were mobbing her.
I remember that. I remember seeing that. I was getting so angry just watching that. I'm like, you, part of my French, you dumb motherfuckers. Part of my French.
They're just selfish, and people just want what they want, and they don't care about anyone else that affects around them, positive or negative. They don't care. They just are. They have one goal in mind, and that's all they're after. They become like zombies.
Right, exactly. I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give you a story, and then we're going to move on. I'm going to tell you a story, ladies and gentlemen. I remember once when I went to Los Angeles for WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to see Eddie Guerrero perform for the last time, ladies and gentlemen. And on the plane, ladies and gentlemen, was Pat Patterson, Taz, Michael Cole, and many others that were on the plane. And
on your plane?
On my plane.
Wow, you love
freaking
on my plane. On my plane, ladies and gentlemen, they were on my plane.
That's sick.
Oh my God.
And I flew with them out of LaGuardia, ladies and gentlemen. I flew with them out of LaGuardia.
Wow. That's so cool.
Ladies and gentlemen. But I did not carry on. I did not go out to flick kick on the plane. I didn't scream from the top of my lungs. I knew exactly who these people were. But I was not going to carry on, ladies and gentlemen. I even met Susan Gray, who was the live event person at the time.
Nice.
And she was on the plane with me, ladies and gentlemen, going there, signing the paperwork for WrestleMania.
You see this, folks? Be respectful. Be courteous.
I was not going to carry on. I knew exactly who these people were. They were all sitting in first class, ladies and gentlemen. And they were right
on the plane. That's great.
Yeah, they were on the plane. They were on the plane.
That's amazing.
And everybody got on their bus, and I got in my cab and went to my hotel, and they went to theirs. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the end of that story.
So one time it was 1999, and it was right in the thick of like the Monday Night Wars. I think it just happened. I don't think we were doing the Monday Night Wars anymore, but it was right after that time period. Roddy Piper he lived here in Portland, and he had a pizza restaurant here, and there used to, over by the mall, there used to be a TGI Fridays, and me and the girl I was dating at the time had gone to TGI Fridays for dinner one night, and as the lady or the girl is showing us to our table, I noticed we were walking past this table, and there he is sitting there with, I'm assuming what was his wife, or another woman, whoever, I don't know, but now he's sitting there having dinner, and at the time I'm like, oh my God, this is like one of my all-time favorite wrestlers ever, like right here in front of my face. Like the wrestling kid in me was like losing my mind on the inside, right? But I'm like, what do I do in this moment? So as we're past him, I didn't want to not say anything, but I knew better than to just like ask him for anything at all, because he's sitting there eating. So I just said, hey, Roddy, like, just letting you know, sorry to interrupt. I'm a big fan, cool to see you here, whatever. And kept walking to my table. He's like, oh, nice to meet you. Thank you. Blah, blah, blah. And just kept it pushing. And I think, wrestlers, celebrities, entertainers, they don't mind if you have some bit of common sense, like I didn't go up to his table and I'm like, oh, no way, Roddy Piper, can I get your autograph, dude? Like, and just stand there looking like a complete crazy lunatic with my hand out. You know what I mean? And these guys at the airport, they just rushed the wrestlers with their posters and their merch. And it's like, I just can't imagine doing that to somebody when like if I'm in the airport and I come off the plane and a wrestler or a famous person is there at the gate, if you say something there because you're right there, I mean, maybe that's okay. But if you're following them, like if you're in the food court or you follow them outside, like that's taking it way too far, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like when I went to WrestleMania all grown up, and I landed in Detroit Airport, ladies and gentlemen. I saw the Wild Samoans in the airport, gentlemen. You're going up the escalator, you have your bags and stuff like that. And there was the Wild Samoans right in front of them. They were getting inducted in the Hall of Fame that night. And I was like, I can't believe this is the one. I was like, this is why, ladies and gentlemen, I have a show called The Wrestling Experience. Because I'll tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, the experiences that I have done over the years, ladies and gentlemen, and the stories I have, oh my gosh, it'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm old school, but I'm cool, ladies and gentlemen. Now,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have an experience that it just came to my mind that I would like to share. I think it was around 2013 or 2014. I went to I think it was a live holiday show. The WWE live holiday show they have every year during the holiday season. I went with my ex at the time, and then I think it was in the building in Madison Square Garden, and across the way, like on my right side, I thought I was seeing things. I saw Bob Backlund standing right there. I was like, am I seeing things? Yeah, I kid you not. I took a picture on my phone. I think I have it saved somewhere. It was like over a decade ago anyway. So long story short, I said, am I seeing things? Is this right? I said, oh snap. I didn't go up to him and say, hi, Bob Backlund, nice to meet you. I just kept walking. But I knew that was really Bob Backlund there. I didn't go up there all crazy, like, hi, Bob Backlund, how are you and everything. I didn't do that. I showed courtesy. But I knew that I had an experience seeing Bob Backlund like a couple of feet away from me. So it's a really cool, fun experience. We see like wrestlers in person, but like far away, even especially like legendary ones. So to see that was like an all moment for me. So I was like really shocked about that.
Yeah, I I love nostalgia.
Me too. Me too.
I can talk about wrestling for hours, ladies and gentlemen. I can, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just go back, ladies and gentlemen, to the present, ladies and gentlemen, and let's go back to the AEW Dynamite for a second. So I'm gonna go around the horn, and I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna go down the horn, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask Christina first. Christina, What did you make of last night's AEW Dynamite?
When it comes to like the quality of the matches and the build up so far, going towards World's End, it was actually a pretty decent show. And I will say this: I know we're going to talk about this a little bit later on, but I'm very happy to see Dante Martin back. I'm very happy to see him back because after that horrible, horrible injury he had earlier this year, and when they showed the footage again, I'm like, oh my god, no, I don't want to see that again. That was graphic, very graphic, and also seeing him come back and reunite with his brother and forming Top Flight again with Action Andretti, it was really a amazing, amazing reunion. And also that MJF promo, wow, that was it had I was like glued to the TV like this, just watching what he was saying. I was like, drop everything and just listen. So all in all, the show was pretty decent. It was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty good. Getting into World's End, when it comes to the match between MJF and Samoa Joe, that's gonna be one heck of a match that I really am looking forward to seeing.
Sarah, what did you think of Dynamite last night?
I thought, like I said last night, I thought it was a good show. I really liked the Continental Classic matches. That match with Swerve and Jay White was awesome. They both did a wonderful, wonderful job. They told, and I commented this on DJ Storm's post on Twitter earlier. I think, or maybe it was yesterday. I think maybe it was either yesterday or today sometime. But I said they were able to take that match and they told a story with the small amount of time they had. They were able to tell a story, and like I said, I would not mind one bit if Swerve won the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind one bit. So I like the MJF promo. I thought that was very good. Kind of hitting below the belt there. I think he was referencing CM Punk a little bit there. So I think it's kind of funny how everybody talks so much smack about Punk, and he hasn't said a peep. But everybody is taking shots at him, which whatever. But yeah, I thought it was all right show.
Hooligrim, what did you think?
I find it very hard this year to watch AEW from beginning to end without losing interest at various times throughout the broadcast, and then I'll go back to it. So I miss a lot. Like I missed a lot last night. I have to go back and watch, and I haven't had time to do that yet. I saw the MJF promo. That's really what I'm looking forward to up in like AEW's near future the most is now that CM Punk is in WWE. I feel like it's putting AEW in a position to where they're going to have to step their game up a little bit. So I'm curious to see what they do with, like, is this Samoa Joe MJF match? Is that going to be it after that? Or because I don't necessarily think that they're going to have Joe beat MJF. But as long as I want my future AEW champion in my mind should be nobody other than Swerve Strickland. So however we get to that point, so be it. But MJF is really, really good. He's just really, really good. And AEW better do everything they can to keep that guy, because if he leaves, then they got problems.
Yeah, last night's Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen, was great. Great chemistry, great nuance, and everything else. I had no issues with what was happening. But let's talk about this, guys, for a second. Tony Schiavone was backstage with Sting. And ladies and gentlemen, Sting's final match, ladies and gentlemen, if you all didn't hear the major announcement, will be on March the 3rd. It will be at Revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, Revolution will happen on March the 3rd, Sunday, March the 3rd, from Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen, there is not going to be a dry eye in the house when Sting gets through that curtain. Ladies
Oh, I'm
and
telling you,
gentlemen.
I can vouch for Cherry. She will be crying her eyes out because that's her goal, and she's not ready for him to retire.
No, and Sting will have his final match. Now, I said this to Sarah last night, and I think I did say this before when Hooligrim was here when he debuted on the Wrestling Experience. Sting needs to close Revolution.
Oh yeah,
Sting needs to Sting needs to close Revolution.
He needs the main event.
He should be the main event, and that should close Revolution. I don't see any. I'm not going to settle for anything less. I don't want to see him in the first match. I don't want to see him in the second match. I don't want to see him in the third match or the fourth match. Sting needs to close Revolution.
Mm-hmm. If it's his retirement match, I agree.
I don't care what other storylines are going on.
That needs to literally be like
that needs to close the show, and that should be the main event, and that should be the end of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go around to Christina. What did you make of the announcement?
Hearing the announcement, I will say this. Part of me was like, oh God, this is really happening. I really didn't think it was going to happen. But also part of me was like, no, don't retire yet. You got everything going for you. But I get it. He's up there in age. But here's the thing, though. Whatever he's doing, he's putting the others to shame because he's doing all these crazy things. He's taking bumps like a regular 20, 30-year-old would. But to hear that announcement that his retirement match is going to be at Revolution in Greensboro, North Carolina, against the Nature Boy Ric Flair, I don't know what to say about that, but I hope Ric Flair can make it, God willing, by Revolution by then. But it got me thinking about my girl Cherry because that's her goal. That's her greatest of all time. That's one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. And it's gonna be a tearjerker seeing Sting retire. And I don't think anybody in the wrestling world is gonna be ready for that, myself included. So I'm just like, we're not ready for this, but we have to be ready for this. It's like we're ready, but we're not. So that's my take on it.
Hooligrim, what did you think?
When I heard Shivani announce that last night, I don't know. Even at Wrestle Dream when it was in Seattle, like the very first pay-per-view I ever attended was up in Tacoma, and at the Tacoma Dome, and it was a WCW pay-per-view. And I think at the time Sting was part of NWO Wolfpack. But going back even before that, like I remember when I discovered Sting, I grew up as a WWF kid. I didn't even know that there were other wrestling territories or companies or outside of WWF for a very long time, probably until about the year or two before the Monday Night War started. I learned of WCW, flipping channels one day and coming across it. And I remember the first time I saw Sting, and I wasn't necessarily like, I didn't get to see a lot of WCW. So most of Sting's prime until he hit his stride with WCW and the Monday night stuff, I didn't really grow up seeing. But I became a huge fan of his because I was a big Ultimate Warrior fan as a kid. And the first time I saw Sting, I thought the very first thing I saw was his face paint. And I thought, is he trying to copy? Is this like, who's this Walmart version of the Ultimate Warrior? And then as I got older and I learned about wrestling history, they were in a tag team coming up in the business together. So then it made more sense to me why he had his look the way he did. So all this, like, this is just, like I said earlier, this has been a year of like chapters from my childhood, like closing all in the same year. And it's like, I don't know. It's pretty, it's just hard to deal with when you get to this age, I think, in life, and you start noticing the trend of that happening. And so this is another chapter coming to a close from, and wrestling's been with me, my whole life since I discovered it. And every time somebody retires or, passes away, it feels like a piece of you goes with it. And the fact that they're announcing this so far in advance and they're really, building up to it and making a big deal of it is, I think every time they announce it, it's going to hit me in the feels,
Yeah. Sarah, what did you think of the announcement last night?
Well, I mean, I think we all knew, didn't they say 2 weeks ago that he was going to be retiring at Revolution?
He did
Revolution,
say
or
that,
didn't
yes.
Didn't Sting say that he was going to be retiring at
Mm-hmm.
Revolution? So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
it
was,
did came out of his mouth. Yeah.
yeah. So it really wasn't a surprise or anything because he already said it was when he was going to retire. So it was nice to see him and Ric Flair interacting together. But yeah, I agree with you, Earl. I don't think there's going to be a dry eye in the place when that happens. And
Nope.
100% absolutely that should be the main event of Revolution, no questions asked.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with everyone here. Um, I grew up, watching WCW and everything else, and I grew up on that era, ladies and gentlemen. And I grew up on the golden age of wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to dust myself off, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, anyway. I grew up on watching Sting, and I'm a fan of Sting. And if you're not a fan of Sting, then why are you a wrestling fan? Why?
That part. That part.
It's just,
That part.
it's just like why? It's like why are you a fan of wrestling?
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you this much: when you see Sting go out there in an AEW arena, and he goes out there and he wrestles like he's 22. Sting
Hmm.
goes on there and he'll come from the barricade and he'll clothesline you. Sting will go out there and hit you in the beads and the franks. Sting just goes out there and he does his thing. Sting is just something else. Sting is something else. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I giddy every time I see him go out there and do his thing. And now
Hmm.
I'll tell you this much too. Sting is drama free.
Oh
Sting
yeah.
does not believe in drama. He goes through the curtain. They tell him he's up next. He goes out there, does his match, put a smile on everyone's face, and goes back in the curtain, and that's it. That's how all wrestlers should be like that. Sting
Absolutely.
just Sting just goes out there and does his thing. And like I said, on March the 3rd, ladies and gentlemen, no one is gonna when that 3 count, ladies and gentlemen, gets hit on that mat and Sting's hand gets raised,
Hmm.
ladies and gentlemen, that is when people are going to lose their minds.
Oh, they're gonna lose it. They're gonna lose
They're
it.
going to lose their minds, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the final curtain for Sting. And
Yeah.
every city he wrestles in, it will be his last.
Yeah, and
Ladies and
also
gentlemen.
I remember that because I think it was at Full Gear after the match they had, the tag team match they had against, Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. That's when Darby Allin it said this is his final time wrestling in Chicago or California or something like that. And I was like, yeah, this is really happening. I'm like, oh God, this is
Yeah,
really happening.
so Sting wrestled his final match in the state of California, ladies and gentlemen.
California, yeah.
And I'll tell you this much. I'll tell you this much. That that venue, like Tony Schiavone says, Tony Khan and his team went through 18 different venues, ladies and gentlemen, to have Sting's final match, and they came up with the Greensboro Coliseum, and that Coliseum, ladies and gentlemen, is iconic.
It's
It
fitting.
is it is fitting.
It's fitting.
It is fitting because
Flair
Sting,
country.
yeah,
There you go. There you
it's
go.
yeah. I mean, they
Woo!
wrestled. Sting says that him and Sting wrestled in that arena, ladies and gentlemen, and they tore the house down,
Oh yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't think Sting is going to tear the house down at Revolution, you got another thing coming.
Oh
Oh,
While
yeah.
you
we're
got
on the
another.
subject,
Yes.
I'd like to. Could I get a little controversial for a second, if I may?
Yeah, go ahead, Hooligrim.
So when we're talking about Shivani standing there with Flair and Sting, I noticed today on social media everybody's losing their minds over the promo that Ric Flair cut,
I
and
saw that. I saw that on Twitter.
everybody's wanting him canceled for his comments about all the women in the audience, ages 18 to 28, meet him back at the hotel bar. And I just wanted to get everybody's take on that because I didn't actually see the announcement when it happened. By the time I turned Dynamite on, it was right at the tail end when Shivani was announcing his retirement match.
They said
Go ahead,
that
Christina.
I think what they said is that I read it very briefly. I think it was supposed to be like a promo on Rampage. It was supposed to air tomorrow night. Don't quote me on this, but I saw it very brief. I was like, wait, what? Did that really happen? And it said it was supposed to be on the taping of Rampage. I think it occurred on the taping of Rampage, which takes place tomorrow night.
So it didn't happen on
but I don't know if
Dynamite.
they're
It didn't
gonna
happen on TV.
No. From what I read briefly, it was like a brief second that he said it during Rampage, because they tape Rampage, I think probably the same night as Dynamite. Sometimes they do it live.
Yeah.
So I think it was supposed to be on Rampage. I don't know if they're gonna air it or not. So maybe if you do decide to tune in tomorrow night, maybe you'll get more clarification about it, because they said it was during the AEW Rampage taping. So I read that part.
My God. Freaking promo. Ric Flair is a freaking character, people. Get over it. My God.
Yeah,
you don't think there's like fiction to this? People need to get their heads out of their asses.
There's too many people who have their heads up their asses to begin with. Like, come on, Sarah. We already know this.
Oh my God, guys.
I'm tired. It's so frustrating and it's draining.
People can't decipher from fact from fiction, and that's a problem. Here's the thing. You got to understand something, ladies and gentlemen. Ric Flair is 78, 79 years old, whatever, and he is picante spicy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what Ric Flair is. Ric Flair is picante spicy. He don't care. He has no filter whatsoever. He has no filter.
He hasn't had a filter to begin with.
He doesn't have a filter, and the man could cuss you under the table. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a pistol.
Yeah. He's 74.
He's 74. Yeah, the man's a pistol.
Why is everybody wanting him to be different now?
He's not going to be different. Ric Flair will always.
I don't know.
Because it's not politically correct. That's why.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, that could be it too.
Yeah.
Just give me a break. Everybody's so in their damn feelings all the time.
Let me tell you something. When Ric Flair opens his mouth and he cuts a promo, I'm not offended by it. I know it's Ric Flair. I know what he's gonna say. I already know. He's been like that ever since he's growing up in the wrestling business. I am not going to. If you want to censor that, then go ahead. But I'm sorry.
Please don't say censor because I went back to watching Nostalgia, WWF, and just seeing the group right to censor. I'm like, no. If that group was still around today, they will get obliterated by the groups today in WWE.
Right. Speaking of censor, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Christian Cage's promo. Now, ladies and gentlemen, last night's
Father of the Year.
Ladies and gentlemen, last night's promo was anti-spicy. And
it was lit.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, from what I understand on social media, Edge got a little in trouble with the censors in Canada, ladies and gentlemen.
They didn't censor him when they were supposed to. That's the problem.
They did too late.
The people in Canada were not too happy about that language. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I digress.
They're a little slower up north.
Yeah. I didn't have any issue. I didn't have an issue with what he said. He kicked Christian in the maple leaf, ladies and gentlemen, and that was
he kicked him in the Sanjay Dutt.
In the Sanjay dirt. Yes,
Oh,
he kicked him in the Sanjay dirt.
Oh my god.
He
Please
kicked him
don't
in the
mention that name
Sanjay.
again, Sarah. I swear to
But it
Oh
was
God,
my
my
I
new
never
god.
thought of him.
contribution.
He kicked him in the Sanjay dirt, ladies
Please
and
don't mention his
gentlemen.
name again, Sarah, because I feel like I
But
just want to find him to smack him.
but anyway, I'm gonna go around the horn first. Christina, what did you make of that promo?
Yo, that promo was. I can't even stop laughing. Okay, excuse me. Let me compose myself. That promo was really, really. How can I say this? Like you said, it was spicy and it was really believable to where Christian was trying to like reel in Adam Copeland, or I should say Edge. I always refer to him as Edge. Reel in Edge to try to like make a tag team together and not have Edge go against him for the TNT Championship. He sounded very believable with his promo, and then like it got Edge thinking like, is he really really serious about it? And then when you saw that Christian was getting ready to hit Edge with the belt, like you said, he kicked him in the maple leaves, or in other words, the nuts, and he literally just like, no, I ain't, you ain't fooling me. And then like when he said, pardon my French, no bleep, go fuck yourself, I heard the F word loud and clear. They did not bleep that out. They bleeped it like 10 seconds too late. And it was like, that was insane. That was freaking insane. It was personal. They made it personal. And I cannot wait for next week's match. Them two going at it for the belt. That's going to be one heck of a match. And I really hope, I mean, if Edge does win the belt from Christian Cage, I will be happy about it. But there is also a big possibility that Christian will retain or could retain. But I don't know. The promo was freaking. it was personal, to say the least. It was very personal, but it was lit.
Sir, what did you think?
Like I said, Christian's Father of the Year, and the sooner we recognize it, the
Oh
better.
God, no! Oh God. Although I will point out, I really like how they did the countdown more differently now. They had different
Oh God,
wordings.
I know.
It was just like I actually caught it firsthand. I think it was at Full Gear with the tag team. I said, "Oh snap! They changed it," and I actually like it due to the fact like it was like a countdown, but also has something behind it. But him being Father of the Year, no, not to me.
No, I thought the promo, I thought it was good. I think it was hilarious that Christian, typical heel fashion, trying to weasel his way out of this match with Edge and trying to pull at his heartstrings, but Edge said to Christian exactly what Christian said to him when Edge was trying to appeal to him to reform their tag team. So I thought it was great. And I'm pumped for that match next week. That's going to be great.
Me too.
Yeah. Hooligrim, what did you think?
I think that the pairing, the thing that I was most excited for when Adam Copeland showed up in AEW was the potential revisited previous history between them two. I know a lot of times, especially on the WWE end of things, when somebody comes back that had a history with one of the superstars or whatever, and they try to revisit that, a lot of the times it gets negatively criticized a lot because WWE royally botches their storytelling of things. But I was really hoping that this was the direction that they would go with Adam Copeland. So the fact that we're getting this kind of reignited rivalry between these two guys all these years later is, I'm still shocked that Adam Copeland is actually even still in AEW at all to begin with. I'd never in a million years thought he was going to leave WWE. So when I see him and the way he looked last night and stuff, I'm just like, I don't know. It's crazy to me just to see these two still going at it all these years later. But it's different because I feel like the people actually want to see this. Whereas when the Hardy Boys come hobbling out, it's like, bless their heart, and they're legends of the business, but it's not really something anybody's really clamoring to see anymore. But I think Edge and Christian are so good still all these years later, like people are really chomping at the bit to see to see these guys. Are they going to beat the shit out of each other? Are they going to reconcile and reunite? And we're going to get, E&C again. Like, what's going to happen here? So I didn't see the promo last night, but I mean, everything Christian has done since he set foot in AEW has been golden. And it's just a testament to how good certain people are at this pro wrestling thing that can still be captivating and entertaining 3 decades later. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, agreed. I thought the promo was great. I had no issues with the promo whatsoever. And when he tried to manipulate the situation, I said, "Oh, now you're going to get it. Now you're going to get the other side of Adam Copeland." Because I knew he was trying to do the fiddle and play the fiddle. And ladies and gentlemen, but the concert got canceled, ladies and
Nice
gentlemen.
try, dumbass.
and and when he got kicked in the Sanjay Dutt, I'm sorry, Christina. I'm sorry, but anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, I thought it was funny. I thought that just added the icing on the proverbial cake. And what he said afterwards was absolutely picante spicy, ladies and gentlemen. I had to do a double take. I almost did a Linda Blair exorcist. I was like, "Ooh, what was that? What was that?" What was that? I was like, "What?" Anyway,
I'm like, I can't believe they actually let him say it. It's like somebody
yeah,
must
and
miss
then
their
and
cue
then
to
when
push the delete button.
right, and then when he did say it, and then they pushed the Duke button behind the scenes, it was too late to cut it out
because he said it.
The guy was a little late on the button trigger.
It loud and clear.
Somebody's getting in trouble.
Somebody get fired. Fine.
It's okay.
So-
I like colorful language.
Right.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
You're fired.
You're fired.
So, ladies and gentlemen, so that happened. So next week on Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Cole will take on Christian for the TNT title.
Wait, it's on. They're doing it on a Dynamite.
Yes.
See, this is where AEW just misses me with their
shenanigans involved, and this is going to get pushed out to World's End. That's
okay.
That part.
That's what
I think that could happen. Yes, because you gotta think.
Yeah, there's no way they're giving this away for free.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna see what happens next week in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Unless there's no Montreal Screech, unless there's no other Montreal.
Wait, they're gonna be in Montreal?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
Oh my God, this is set up like so perfectly. This is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Unless there's another Montreal screw job waiting to happen. Oops.
Maybe they'll dust Hebner off and go do that, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, anyway,
Isn't it Earl Hebner? Didn't he pass away?
Who?
No, that was Dave Hebner.
Dave passed away. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's still around.
He's still ticking.
Yep. So let's talk about this match, ladies and gentlemen. It was Top Flight and Action Andretti taking on the Hardys and Brothers A. The match was great. The match was fine. I love me some Hardys. As you all know, ladies and gentlemen, they're not the same as they used to be, ladies and gentlemen. And a lot of you people out there on social media were like, "Well, what happened to them?" Listen. They're not the same Hardys when they debuted in WWE back in the day. Okay?
He's 20 years old. Cut him some slack.
It's like, right, exactly. They can barely walk anymore, ladies and gentlemen, because of all the bumps that they've taken over the years. All the ladders they've been through, all the tables they've been through has taken its toll on their body and everything else. And I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen, they still go out there and they entertain the audience.
Count their blessings that they still do. After all the bumps they've taken throughout their whole careers with tables, ladders, and chairs matches, I can go on.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go down the one. Hooligrim, what did you make of the match?
I actually saw this, surprisingly. And first of all, to see Dante Martin back was great because, as Christina said a little bit ago, we all saw that nasty leg injury he sustained earlier in January, and that was
So gross.
I've seen a couple of pretty gruesome, make you turn away from your screen injuries in wrestling. That was one of them. That was the way his leg snapped and twisted all the way around. I thought he was. I was like, well, that's a pretty much a wrap on his career. Like, literally thought he was probably not coming back from that. So when he was walking to the ring, I was getting already just pins and needles going, like, and then to see him when he entered the ring and do that flip over the top rope, but he kind of rolled out of it and ended up on his one knee. I'm like, how's he going to sustain going up to the top rope and landing? Like when the wrestlers go to do a top rope move and then their opponent moves out of the way, they always land on their feet and do a roll through or what have you. I'm like, all that on that. I don't know. I worry for that leg injury of his, and I hopefully it's healed up enough and plated up well enough that, he wrestles fine without it, but it was really good to see him back. Yeah.
Sarah, what did you think?
I mean, I thought, like your famous line, I thought the match was fine for what it was. Obviously, with him coming back from that injury, oh my goodness gracious. Oh my God, when I just remembered that was one thing that, because I honestly forgot about this. When they showed that again, it just the way his foot twisted. I said last night that looks like something out of a cartoon or a movie. Like that doesn't look like something that can really happen.
Right.
And the fact that he's come back as well and as quickly, I honestly thought he was going to be out longer. So the fact that he's back right now is, I think, a miracle in itself. But I thought the match was fine. I mean, I obviously knew they were going to win because they were in Darius Martin's hometown. So you knew they were going to win. But I think that was it was a good thing they put him with the Hardys. The Hardys are veterans. They know what's up. They know how to be safe in the ring. So, but yeah, I thought the match was all right.
Christina, what did you think?
I thought the match was really good to where that Dante Martin, I am so happy he's back.
Darius.
I am so happy he's back. But replaying that, I really had to just like do like this. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to see that again. No. That's something out of a horror movie. That was something out of a horror movie. And for him to make a return that quickly, I personally thought he was going to be out for a little over a year. But for him to make a return and reunite with his brother, Darius Martin, and reform Top Flight with Action Andretti against the Hardys and Brothers A, I thought the match was great. It was really good. Although I will say this, I was really nervous when he always do his flips because I don't want him twisting his ankle again because that was really horrible. But the match was good, and I'm very happy that they won coming back. I mean, yes, they were in his hometown, but I'm happy Dante came back and got the victory. So I pray to God, knock on wood, that he sticks around much longer this time, and that incident that happened earlier this year does not repeat itself. So I'm praying for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this backstory to Dante. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, he had nearly 30 screws put in his ankle.
Jesus.
How
Are you
many?
serious?
She's almost 30 screws.
30?
Ladies and gentlemen, almost 30.
Oh my God, almost. Jesus Christ.
He has 17 pins in that foot, ladies and gentlemen. He says when he had the injury, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever see a car accident where the airbag comes out of the steering wheel and then it deflates, that was the top of his foot.
Yeah.
That was the skin. The skin deflated. Ladies and gentlemen, skin deflated. And it left his toes. The skin rolled back and left his toes, ladies and gentlemen. That is horrible. That is
Oh, so he had a really bad compound fracture then.
Yes, he did.
That's
he
what I
did.
said. I
Yes,
said
he
as a
did.
compound
The,
fracture.
the
Oh,
skin
yeah.
just came away from the foot.
And nobody knew that at the time because his boot and his leggings
Right,
were on.
exactly.
We just
nobody
obviously
When they
knew it
knew.
was
took him
bad
back,
because you saw his leg
right,
snap and then twist all the way around.
right.
It
So
did. That's what
when
we said.
so
Yeah.
when they took him back to the medical room, ladies and gentlemen, they had to use what they call the meta vacuum, which means that they had to put an insert on top of the foot to inflate the skin to draw it back up like a shade to bring it back up so it could meet the toe so that they can work on the ankle. And the black and blue mark from the ankle, it went all the way up to the knee part, ladies and
Kind of like how
gentlemen.
Oh
Cody
my
Rhodes'
God.
whole chest and
Right,
arm
right,
was when he tore his
exactly,
pec.
exactly.
It spread the
Oh
whole
yeah, I
It
everything.
remember that.
was horrific.
So it was far
And
worse than
Oh
any
God.
of us fans even realized seeing
yes,
it
yes,
happen on
yes, yes,
TV.
yes. And he
Wow.
said the
Oh,
pain was
God.
excruciating.
Oh, I can't
I really
imagine.
want to know.
They had to cut the boot off.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh
Oh my
yeah,
God.
you're not taking that boot
Oh
lightly.
yeah, it
No
had to
way.
do that. Oh my God.
So he got me
And
a
how
lot
long
of
is he?
work.
He's only been out what? 9 months? 10 months?
8 months.
10 months. Yeah,
Oh, 10 months it
months.
was?
Eight
Yeah,
months?
Okay.
it was
He
eight
was
There's
months.
out
no way. There,
since March, I believe.
oh, it
Right?
Yeah,
was March. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was in January, but either way,
No,
that's even more amazing that
Yeah,
he's
8
back in
months.
8 months.
That's
yeah.
why
Yeah.
I said I'm
That's
surprised he was back already.
How is
Well,
I thought
he?
he was
Yeah.
gonna be out for
If I
later in
was
the
him, I'd be
year.
definitely afraid to be taking bumps off the top rope. I really would. I don't know how he.
I'll tell you,
That's why I was
I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. When he said that on the podcast, I almost lost my lunch because I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to wish that on anybody
me either.
because what
No,
happened was is he said when he did the maneuver over the top rope, the way the ankle broke, ladies and gentlemen, his other foot got caught on the ladder. So
Yeah.
he didn't know which way to land. And when it got
Oh.
uncaught, that's when he destroyed the ankle. Ladies and gentlemen, he
Oof.
destroyed it. So if you all think that there are wrestling fans. Oh, wrestling is fake. And let me tell you something. Bumps are real.
Yes, they are. Injuries are real too.
Okay, you can have anything happen to you on any given Sunday, ladies
Mm-hmm.
and gentlemen. You could be in a wrestling match and something snafu goes on, ladies and
That part.
gentlemen.
That part.
Anything could happen in
Oh,
a wrestling match.
do you like what happened to Triple H when he tore his quad during the match he had with Stone Cold against Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit? That happened
Right,
yeah.
during the match live, and he
right,
still finished the match.
right. Anything can happen, ladies and gentlemen, in a match.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Anything.
Uh
Look
huh.
what happened to Seth Rollins in a house show when
Oh,
he
I remember
destroyed
that.
his kneecap.
I remember that. That was
Ladies and
horrible.
gentlemen,
I remember that.
anything
That
can
was
happen.
horrible. Yeah.
Anything could happen to any. So I don't want you fans to go out and say, "Oh well, wrestling's." Look at the injuries that these people are going through.
Mm-hmm.
Look
Exactly.
at the injuries these people go through on a daily basis, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, they're real. The injuries are real.
Those are real.
Real injuries. You can't fake a. You
And you
can't fake a.
can't
You
fake
can't fake a
those.
torn. You can't fake a torn quad. You certainly as hell can't fake a broken ankle. You can't fake a concussion. You can't fake a broken neck or separated shoulder or dislocated shoulder or any type of injury I could think of. You can't fake that at all.
So I don't want you all. I don't want you all to sit up there and talk about this is unreal. This is. Listen, accidents happen in wrestling all the
Yes, they
time.
do. Yes, they
Facts.
do.
And real
Yes, they
quickly,
do.
Earl, before you switch to the next match, while we're talking about a match involving the Hardys, my comments earlier about the Hardys, I just want to say for the record that they are one of my all-time favorite tag teams ever in pro wrestling. And it's hard for me, being the age I am now, still watching wrestling all these years later, to see them come hobbling out looking like they do. Any wrestler
Yeah.
that's been around for a number of years that is starting to age now. And this
Yeah.
is a testament also to Sting and how great he's kept his body in mind all these years, because he's been wrestling a significant amount of time longer than the Hardys, and he comes out walking, and it's like, Sting looks damn good for his age. And the Hardys, now mind you, the Hardys have been in like the equivalent of what's to be probably about over 100 car accidents in all the matches they've had over the years with all the bumps they've suffered. So it's I'm not surprised that they can barely walk to the ring for their matches. It's just hard to watch when it's wrestling. It's what they do for a living, and to see Matt limp out to the ring all the time is like, maybe you should just call it a day. But you've had a good run, but maybe just go enjoy this time in your life before arthritis sets in and you're too crippled to do anything with your children who are going to be teenagers very soon. So I just didn't want my comments about the Hardys earlier to make people think like I'm not a Hardys fan or I'm shitting on the Hardys, because it is, like Christina said, it is still good that, like, it's incredible that they're still able to go out there and entertain, and they still do entertain. It's just not, like you said, Earl, at the level that it once was, and nor can it be. They've been doing it for over 30 years, and they've taken so many more crazy bumps than anybody else in wrestling. It's insane that them two and Edge and Christian are still around wrestling. It really is. It's wild.
It is.
So let me go around the horn here. On an entertainment level, Christina, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give this match?
The 6-man tag match.
Yes.
Entertainment level, I give it an 8.
All right. And Hooligrim, what number do you give this match?
I'm a little pickier. I'm a little set in my ways, so I'll give it a 7.
All right.
Not bad.
All right. And Sarah, what do you think?
I'm with Hooligrim. I give it a 7.
And I'm going to be on the same wavelength as the three of you, and I'm going to give it a 7 as well. The match was fine. The match was okay. I had no issues with it. I love a 6-man tag match, especially if it's done correctly. WWE. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I digress. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this. And this match really was, I don't know what to say about it. AR Fox took on Wardlow, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh God, that match.
If you blinked, you missed it, ladies and gentlemen. If you made brownies, you missed it. If you went to the other room and called a friend, you missed it. There was nothing really going on in this match, ladies and gentlemen. Wardlow just powerbombed his way to victory. Christina, what did you make of this match?
It was just basically. I mean,
oh shit!
what is there to say? It was literally a squash match. I mean, I give AR Fox credit. I give AR Fox credit for stepping out to Wardlow, but they're making Wardlow become like a monster, and with good reason, because he wants to go after MJF for everything MJF put him through when he was a heel. Now that MJF is like a babyface per se, being the AEW World Champion and also one half of the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions with Adam Cole, baby. And, they're making Wardlow into a monster. But if you're really going to make him into this type of monster, have him in matches where it's like maybe more than 5 minutes. No more squash matches, please. I'm just saying. But it was just a squash match. A little bit longer, but I'm just saying it was a squash match because the other wrestlers he had previously, it was like 2 minutes tops. Just do the powerbomb symphony, and that's it. Like, if you're gonna book Wardlow right, book him to where he has matches with contenders that are also a threat to MJF's world title. That's my take on it. But to me, it was just a squash match, very little bit longer than usual.
Sarah, what did you think of it?
Not doing Wardlow any favors. I mean, you're really not. He's been doing nothing but squash matches. The only positive I have to say is AR Fox, at least they let him get in a little bit of offense. So I think
lasted
that's why
longer.
This match,
he lasted longer than other ones.
Yeah, I think this match lasted, went a little bit longer than his previous matches because AR Fox got some offense in. But other than that, I'm like, this is ridiculous. I think Wardlow he's one person that I would not mind going to WWE, because I think he would be better served potentially over there to be in NXT and really get the training, practice in the performance center, help him with his promo skills, but that's just my opinion.
Hooligrim, what did you think?
So to Sarah's point, I think not only did it not do Wardlow any favors, it didn't do AR Fox any favors either.
No.
And I feel like they've pigeonholed Wardlow into the quote unquote Goldberg box of just coming out week after week for years on end doing squash matches. I'm like, how long is this going to go on for? Now it's one thing when you're squashing like the local jobbers, and now when you're doing squashing the actual talent, I just don't see. There's no shelf life in this gimmick for Wardlow to me in AEW, because there's no storyline, there's no build up to any of these matches. If you're gonna have him squashing your talent, you need to make it a storyline, I feel like, that draws out over a number of weeks or a couple of months or whatever, and not just, oh, here's Wardlow versus AR Fox, oh, complete squash. And then who's he going to do that to next time we see Wardlow? And then plus we don't see Wardlow consistently. And every time I see the guy, he's got a different look. He's got a different hairstyle. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Right.
And I don't feel like it does AR Fox any favors, him coming out to just get squashed by Wardlow. What are they doing with AR Fox? Like, what are they doing other than just making random matches in AEW? This is where they lose me with a lot of their product, because like Sarah said, I feel like if you're going to have Wardlow be the monster gimmick, nobody does that better than WWE. He's got WWE to me written all over him because he's not very good on the mic. They probably wouldn't make him say a whole lot in WWE. They could make him look like a legitimate. But then again, where do you put him? Because I feel like if he goes to NXT, he becomes Braun Breaker 2.0. I feel like if you put him on the main roster, they're going to make him a carbon copy of Batista. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's partly on Wardlow because he comes out and does a lot of Batista's mannerisms in the ring and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just feel like when I see Wardlow, like, I'm not shitting on the effort and the talent, like the effort that the talent puts on in the ring, just the booking and like what they're doing with these two specifically. I'm just not. I'm not seeing what the end game is, and like I don't see how it's positive for either of the two guys doing matches like this. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, the match was what it was. Quick smash, grab, dab, and that was it. The quick drive by, ladies and gentlemen, and that was the end of the match, ladies and gentlemen. So, Christina, on an entertainment level, what number do you give this match?
I'm gonna go below 5. I'm gonna go 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was that bad.
Sarah, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm going lower. I'm just so sick of this crap. Like, I don't know. Like I said, to Hooligrim's point, you're not doing AR Fox or Wardlow any favors. So I give it a 1. It's ridiculous. They both can do more than this. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Hooligan, what number do you give this match?
I mean, it's to the point where I'm calling Wardlow Boardlow because literally, I literally doze off. He literally makes me. He puts my brainwave pattern at like a subconscious level.
Wow.
Nap time.
Boardlow.
But I don't want to be a total asshole. Huh?
I said, that's the best Hooligrim. I love that. Boardlow. That's great.
Damn.
I'm not
and it's not necessarily his fault. It's just he comes out trying to look like Batista. I've already seen that before. They book him like Goldberg. Exactly. We've already seen that before. They did it with Jade. So we've seen the Goldberg treatment already. Like, what is there nothing else we can do with a big guy with muscles? I guess they're just always going to be the big old evil monster. Like, hooray. I feel bad for the guy because I know he's talented. I've seen him like
Really
he
talented.
he's the size of like Kane, but he can do like moonsaults and shit, right? So
Yeah.
he's super good in the ring. Like, I just feel bad. Like they've got him stuck in this gimmick. They'll probably have him stuck in the same gimmick if he went to WWE. I don't really see what they can do with this guy that's going to get him any high. Like, I feel like he's already hit his ceiling in a lot of ways, unfortunately.
I'm going to give this match, ladies and gentlemen, something I've never done before on this show.
He's going to give
Ladies
it a
and
donut, a big old fat donut, aren't you?
I'm going to give this match, ladies and gentlemen, a 0.0. Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, so at least they get seconds. At least they get 2 donuts.
I'm sorry,
At least each of them get to eat.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but there's just nothing redeeming a quality about the match, ladies and gentlemen.
Is this your first time rating a 0 on a match, Earl? Is this your first time?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. In the wrestling experience history, that's, ladies and gentlemen, a 0, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just want to clarify. Okay. Just want to make
Yes,
sure.
yes. No. You heard it right. Yes,
Okay.
no.
Earl Cole gave him the Krispy Kreme rating.
Oh my God.
Maybe we should give some of those zeros to the creative team. Maybe they're hungry. That's why they're writing this crap.
I don't know.
If you think about it, Sarah, I've tried to say this for a number of weeks to different people, and I don't know how much like everyone's paying attention to this fact or not, but the writing in AEW, like if you think about the people that are working in the company backstage behind the scenes, a lot of them are old ex-WWE guys, and they come from the time period where that kind of storytelling was big in WWE in the early 2000s, like mid 2010s, and a lot of them guys are working in AEW on the creative team, and I honestly think that's why we saw such a change in AEW and the way they were doing things in the last year and a couple months or so. And I've not heard anybody bring that up on any podcast, and I've tried to mention it in chats over the last few weeks.
Very good point.
You brought up a very good point.
Yeah, that's a very valid point, Hooligrim. We're getting vintage booking, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, in that case, I'm very surprised we haven't seen bra and panty matches then.
Count your blessings, Sarah. Count your blessings on that.
At this point, I'll take a bra and panties match over anything to do with Wardlow.
Wardlow.
Oh God.
Put Wardlow in a bra and panties match. Do that.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Put the children and kids to bed, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway.
Don't put that image in my head, dude. Don't do that.
Oh my God.
Hey, at least people will tune in to watch his match, the poor guy.
Here's the thing, though.
I think it would be the opposite, Hooligrim. They're gonna turn the set off. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
May I bring up something, please? Wait, he was the TNT champion. He was striving as that. But however, they were playing hot potato.
That's
with the
the
belt,
rating,
so, yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
But they were playing hot potato with him when he was the TNT champion, and it really, how can I say this? It really diminished his character throughout that time. So I don't know where they're going with this, but if they keep going this route, it's not going to be good for him.
No,
I feel like the title situation in AEW in their earlier days, when Wardlow was the TNT champion, you can almost tell by AEW's booking how Tony Khan, how his thought process must be. Like, I feel like if I met the guy in real life, based on what I've seen from him in the post-show scrums, what I've seen from him tweeting, what I've seen from the booking, it's like almost like somebody comes up to him backstage at a show and is like, hey, I got this good idea for a match, blah, 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 blah. And then, I'm the champion. And Tony's like, okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll go with that. And then like 10 minutes later, somebody comes in and goes, hey, I got a good idea for the TNT title. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And you book me this way, that way, da-da-da. And then I win the title, now. okay, yeah, that's great, that's a good idea. And then you see Tony Khan hugging all the wrestlers, and it's like he's trying to appease everybody, and it's now starting. I feel like you're starting to see the detrimental effects of how he's chosen to lead the company, in like how a lot of these bookings are playing out, because just the hot potatoing of things, and then the random matches that don't make sense or don't have any storyline or any build. It's like I feel like he's probably just being bombarded with everybody with their own ideas for their own matches, and he's just like saying yes to all of it. And then okay, you win the title this week, he wins the title next week, they win it this week, she wins it that week. Like, I don't know, it's just it's all over the place.
He's more of a people pleaser than a boss. Let's put it
I
that
feel
way.
like that, yeah. I mean, he's even standing there in that picture with Sting and Ric Flair last night. Someone posted it on Twitter, and he just looks like a kid in a candy store. He looks like a fan at an event that's paid to get their picture with the superstar. That's what he looks like.
That's why Hooligrim, not to cut you off, Hooligrim, but that is why the relationship with him and of course CM Punk fell apart. Because you were a fan of him instead of being a boss.
Mm-hmm.
His name is now Fall in Line Phil.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's just go to this match, ladies and gentlemen. Jon Moxley took on Jay Lethal without Sanjay Dutt.
God.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, that's my fault.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the match was fine. The match was all right. I had no issues with it. Moxley is a whirling dervish. You don't know what you're gonna get with a Jon Moxley match, ladies and gentlemen. This was good. This was a good match. Christina, what did you think of it?
I mean, I will say this. For Jon Moxley to even participate in the Continental Classic is shocking enough, because he's mostly like a main event caliber superstar. And for Jay Lethal, he keeps looking in the back like, dude, everyone's banned from ringside. That means you cannot cheat to win. Every match in the Continental Classic is one-on-one, as it should be. So, and for Moxley to come out with the win against Jay Lethal, I mean, in a way it's good, but also in a way it's like, is he going to be the one to win the whole thing? Because if it is, then it's going to put a damper on everybody who participated, which I don't want that at all. But he did do a good show against Jay Lethal, and I'm okay with that. So that's my take on it. The match was all right with me. And I just hope that when it comes to the Continental Classic, when it concludes at World's End, it will have someone be the rightful winner.
Hooligrim, what did you think?
Thank God Sanjay Dutt wasn't a part of this, because I would have turned it off.
Sanjay Dutt.
Sir, you put him up to this.
I'm glad that Moxley's in the Continental Classic, and I'm not surprised that he's in it like Christina was, but I feel like he needed to be a part of it, because I don't feel like he's going to win. I just think he's got to be in it to throw people off. Like, you got to watch it with that sense of like not knowing. Like, and I'd rather it not be predictable. Like the outcome of this match, I knew Lethal wasn't going to beat Moxley in this match. I knew he wasn't. So the match, to me, I didn't really think much of the match itself, because I knew already who was going to win. But I do like Moxley being in the tournament, because it gives some unpredictability to it, because a lot of people want, different people. I think I've heard a lot of different outcome scenarios for this tournament, and I like tournaments when I don't know until the end who's actually going to win. So I think Moxley's the right winner. I don't remember. Did they say who he's facing next, or do they not know yet?
I forgot. I believe. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this, but I believe his next opponent is going to be. I believe Is it? Mm, it's the person that has the least number in the tournament,
That
and
would be
Oh,
Roos, right?
yeah, I believe that. I believe that's the next person.
Because
who?
Roos just got his first win and got his first 3 points, I
Right.
believe, last
Yeah,
night.
Yeah. So I
So,
Bruce
believe
won.
Moxley and Roosh will be the next person to go into that round robin tournament.
okay, that'll be a decent match, most likely.
Yeah.
Roos is very
Um.
good.
Yeah. Sarah, what did you think?
I mean, I thought it was a it was an all right match. It wasn't a 5-star classic by any means, but I thought they both did a good job. I'm with Hooligrim. I knew there's no way Jay Lethal is not winning this thing. So, um, but I thought it was very telling when Jay Lethal was coming down the walkway. He turned and looked behind him, like he was looking for for Jeff Jarrett and his cronies. So he was looking, and then he realized, oh crap, that's right. They can't come down here with me. They're not here with me. I got to do this on my own again. So I'm hoping we see him break away from them because I think Jay Lethal's worth much more than that. I think he's much better than that. I can't stand Jeff Jarrett
Yeah, we
and
got to
lost
get
those
Jeff Jarrett off
people.
our TV screens in
They need to no
2024.
Please and thank you. He needs to
exactly
go
like
away.
yeah, he's old, washed up, and he's not. He's talk about not doing any favors. None of them are doing Jay Lethal any favors. They are bringing him down.
No. And
Especially
So
that
yeah.
Sanjay Dutt.
Can I also may I please add something as well?
Yes.
I remember when Eddie Kingston confronted Jay Lethal when his cronies were with him. And I feel that Eddie Kingston is the catalyst for Jay Lethal to break away from them. And if
I
that
hope so.
happens, I will be super happy for that. So that way his cronies can get the f out. I'm done. I'm done with Great Khali 2.0. I'm done with Earls. Please say it again. I can't say it. I can't say it.
Sanjay Dutt.
And I'm
With the
also
pencil,
I'm also
the pencil is so cringe.
The pencil
It's
is
one of the
very
most.
cringe.
It's got to be one of the most cringe props I've ever seen in all of wrestling.
and also and surprisingly, Jeff Jarrett's wife's name is really Karen because she's a pain in the ass. She needs to go
She is
away.
the
She's the
literal
Karenest.
definition of her name.
Yes,
She is.
she is.
She's the
She needs
Karenest
to
of all
go.
Karens.
Except her hair's long anyway, but she needs to go away. So that's what I wanted to add. If Eddie Kingston, the way he spoke with him and confronted him, he's going to be the main reason and catalyst for Jay Lethal to break away from them. And if that happens by next year, I will be happy with that. I will be okay with that.
Okay, so the match was fine. The match was okay. So, Hooligan, let me ask you something. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are you giving the entertainment level?
I'm gonna go with a 6,
Okay.
just because I pretty much know. I knew what you know what you're getting with Moxley. He's very consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing's for sure except for at some point he's gonna bleed if he's not already bleeding walking out to the match.
And on that point, he
I
didn't bleed
think
last night, so that's a
I
blessing.
think I
Did he
think
not?
I think to be honest with you, if Moxley crossed his eyes, I think he would be busted open. Anyway, ladies
Probably.
and gentlemen, anyway,
So
ladies and
it was
gentlemen.
I only gave it a 6 because, like Sarah said, it wasn't a 5-star classic. It did what it was supposed to do. It advanced Moxley to the next phase of the tournament, and yeah, so it was good. Nothing to overly get excited about, or nothing to really shit on either. So
Yeah, Sarah, what did you think?
I was thinking the same thing as Hooligrim. I was thinking 6. Like I said, it wasn't an amazing match. It wasn't, total doggy doo doo. It was all right. See, I just have a way with words. This is why you have me around, Earl.
Well, of course, and that's why you're part of the Angels. Anyway, ladies and
That's right.
gentlemen. Christina, what did you think?
I agree with Ellie. I give it a 6 as well because it was like really predictable in a way because we all knew that Jay Lethal wasn't going to win, and it wasn't a 5-star classic match. Like we saw with Hangman and Swerve in that Texas Death Match at Full Gear. I mean, that match was insane. And the fact that these two went at it, to me, that's a 5-star match. With them two, it was just a regular match. It wasn't like very flashy or anything like that. So I'm in agreement with all y'all. I give it a 6.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the same wavelength as you all, and give this match a 6.0, ladies and gentlemen. It was great. It was great. I had no issues with the match whatsoever. Moxley goes over in the match, ladies and gentlemen, and rightfully so. You never know what you're going to get in a John Moxley match. You just never know,
Nope.
ladies and gentlemen. From thumbtacks to forks to tables. He's not inviting you to dinner, ladies and gentlemen. That's not what he's doing. He's
Shish kebab sticks.
right, shish
Oh,
kebab stick, ladies
Oh,
and
that was one
gentlemen.
of the craziest things I've ever seen. Seriously.
oh yes.
It looked
Oh
like
yeah.
it
I
looked
seen that too.
it looked like a mohawk, ladies and gentlemen.
I was
Anyway,
just
No, the
thinking
fact that he stuck that many giant toothpicks in his cranium was mind-boggling to me.
my brother and I were watching it, and then we were looking at each other like,
I'm
did
like,
that
that's
just
not.
happen?
I'm like, that's not really Moxley doing that right now, is it? Like,
Yeah, my brother and I were looking at each other when we saw it. I was like, "Did that just happen?" And he's like, "Yeah, it did, sis." I'm like, "Oh my god, that did not happen. It did."
and the
I'll
way
tell
he
you,
just planted them all in there at the same time was just like
it was insane.
It was nuts.
Moxley is. He's one of them guys that like a lot of MMA fighters. I feel like you've got to be kind of mentally deranged to like do certain things in life, and feel like to go to a certain place to like welcome that kind of pain on yourself. You just got to have a certain mindset, and Moxley is just one of them rare breeds that can do what he does. Not everybody can do that, so
Yeah.
that's why he's one of my favorites too in AEW. Seriously, I love that guy.
Yeah, like I said, the match was fine. The match was okay. All right. So let's talk about this next one. It was Mark Briscoe taking on Roosh. The match was fine. The match was great. I love the great chemistry, great nuance in the match. I had no issues with the match whatsoever. Another Continental Classic match. And this was good. Sarah, I'm gonna go to you first. What did you think of this match?
The match as a whole, I thought was all right, but I am continuously impressed every time I see Roosh wrestling. Like he's really wonderful. Um, I would like to see Swerve win this whole thing, but I wouldn't mind Roosh either. I thought they did a good job. It was nice seeing. I kind of felt almost like Mark Briscoe was kind of taking Roosh under his wing. You know, you got the veteran and then the young one, so it's kind of nice to see. It did get pretty. I mean, Mark Briscoe kind of went hard at him at first, so it was crazy to see Roosh kind of start off as slow as he was because he usually presents himself very aggressively with his move set and just the intensity that he has. So to see him, it's almost like he wasn't taking Mark Briscoe seriously, or not seriously enough. So when Mark Briscoe came at him full bore, he really he really laid into him. But yeah, I liked it. I thought the match was all right.
Christina, what did you think?
I was really surprised with the chemistry between Mark Briscoe and Roosh because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a big Roosh fan. I always thought he was like not my type of wrestler that I would like to see wrestle, but I will say this, he's been really impressive lately ever since he came back with his group, the LFI, and his like his ring style and his techniques have changed in a way where it's like, oh snap, he's doing this in a way it's like, wow, okay, that's a really good move. But Mark Briscoe came out hard, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be a good match. And honestly, it was a pretty good match. I like the chemistry they had, and I thought Mark Briscoe was gonna win that match. I will say that, but I will give credit where credit is due, and both of them did a really good match together. And Roosh came out as victorious for the round robin tournament. So I like to see where it goes. It was a pretty good match.
Hooligrim, what did you think?
Their match was good. I'm torn on the outcome. I don't know if I necessarily agree. Like the way like having Roosh go over Mark Briscoe. Like I don't want to shit on either. Well, I'm never gonna shit on Mark Briscoe. I love the Briscoe brothers, always will. But I have no problems with Roosh as a wrestler whatsoever. But I question the pairing of the two based on the outcome of the match, just because I feel like they've been putting Roosh in a lot of different little things here and there this year, especially in the more recent months as the year comes to an end. I feel like I'm seeing Roosh a fair amount on my TV. I feel like I know I'm getting to know his style of wrestling. I'm getting more familiar with him, and that's only a positive thing. But at the same time, to have him now, I know that like Mark's not eliminated from the tournament, correct?
No, he's not eliminated. No, not yet.
Okay, so maybe that then knowing that it's not an elimination style tournament makes it a little bit better, because I don't want them to not push Roosh. I think that whoever it is, like there's a lot of good young talent, and the more that the companies find ways to push these kids, is only a good thing for the business, for their careers, for the fans. Because we don't, we need more than just the same 10 names, the same 10 faces on our screen week in and week out.
Right.
Wrestling goes through huge lulls and periods of time where it's just like the same shit at week in and week out, especially in WWE. So I like that they're pushing Roosh. I just, I need Mark Briscoe to be, in the latter stages of this tournament. So I didn't like that he lost, but
Yeah, I agree with your assessment. That was good analysis by you.
thank you.
You're welcome. I I thought the match was great. Both men brought intensity and action to this match. They brought it often, ladies and gentlemen. They brought the action and the intensity in this match. Um, Based upon what everyone is saying and everything else, I again, like I said, the match was great. The match was fine. I had no issues with it whatsoever. One thing I like about this tournament is like it's a round robin tournament, and the thing is that nobody gets eliminated. You get those points, ladies and gentlemen, and you get moved up in the bracket or you get pushed down in the bracket, and you gotta win. So that's one thing that I like about this tournament because it's very intriguing to see how far the ones that have below the numbers are willing to go to get that high number and get that number in the tournament. So, Christina, let me ask you something. Based upon the match itself, on the entertainment level, what number do you give this match?
Considering how pretty good and intense it was, I would give it a 7.
All right, all right. And Sarah, what do you think?
I'm on the same way. I give it like 6.5, 7. I kind of can't decide. I kind of can't decide.
And Hooligrim, what do you
Teetering,
think?
6.75. We'll say that.
Oh, okay, there you go. Like in between.
And Hooligrim, what do you think?
I will give it a 7.5.
Oh, okay, just like a shoe size. I love it. I love it. That's great. I'm going to give this a 6.2, ladies
Okay.
and gentlemen. A 6.2, ladies and gentlemen. Great match, great chemistry in the ring, great noise. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's Dynamite. That was Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. That was the AEW Dynamite. And ladies and gentlemen, the show as a whole was great. I thought it was great. I thought it was energized. We're getting ready for World's End, and again, like I said before, I'll say it again. I don't have any, something. A lot of people out there are hating on AEW, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. The company has weathered a lot of storms behind the scenes with people and stuff. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is a slight issue because Britt Baker, ladies and gentlemen, if you all didn't hear the news, Britt Baker is unhappy with her booking, and she is complaining to Tony Khan. So,
It's hard
I
to have
don't.
good
Via
booking when you're
Twitter.
not on the show.
She hasn't been on the show since how long?
She's
Yeah, so
complaining. She's complaining via Twitter though, which is I don't like.
no, I don't like either, and she is displaying her displeasure, ladies
She's
and
coming off
gentlemen.
as it just comes off as like she's very entitled.
Yeah, and I don't like it because um
Even though she might have a little bit of validity to her claims, it still is not a good look.
no, and here's the thing. Here's the thing that I always say. Why does people go? Why can't you just have a private meeting with the management? Why do
For
you need
real.
to go on Twitter? Why do you need to go on Twitter and do that? It's just like with Big Swole when she did that. Big Swole came there on Twitter, and by the way, she blocked me on Twitter because I blasted her.
Oh
She,
snap! Okay, did not know that.
yeah, yeah, I'm sorry, but you know something? When you sit there and you falsely accuse someone of being a racist and everything, yeah, it's just I just had enough of that. I think that is ridiculous. It had nothing to do with race. You didn't show up for tapings, you didn't show up for this, and you didn't show up for that. And then she complained about Tony Khan only has white people in his organization, and there's no diversity in the organization. Oh, I said, now come on now. Now that's ridiculous. That's faceless. That's faceless.
Yeah,
If
that's just
Tony,
ignorant right there.
yeah, that's very ignorant. If Tony Khan was a racist, would he have Mark Henry?
No.
Would he have Mark Henry on AEW?
Oh, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Powerhouse Hobbs, Stephon
Lee,
Smith.
Swerve
Yeah.
Strickland,
Brother Zay.
Daniel Garcia.
The list goes on.
Right.
Like, come on.
Great
Stephon
Khali
Smith.
Jr.
Yes, I mean, come.
Yeah, great
That
Khali
part.
Jr. and Sanjay Dutt.
Sanjay Dutt. Ladies and
Jay
gentlemen,
Lethal.
Jay
Yes,
Lethal. I mean,
yeah.
come
There you
on.
go.
I mean, come on. How? I
Samoa
mean,
Joe.
Roosh.
Samoa
Yeah.
Joe. I mean, come on now. Big Swole. I mean,
I'd say more than half the company is not white.
That
Yeah.
part,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it was just
That right
ridiculous.
there.
I mean, her comment was just ridiculous, and I challenged her on Twitter, and she didn't like it.
I didn't even know
know?
she blocked you. I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
she did. Yeah, she did. Right after I went back and forth with her, Christina. Twitter informed me that I was no longer allowed to talk to her.
So, and this is the thing that I was saying about Tony Khan earlier. She was probably one of the ones that went in, gave him some idea for her career trajectory or some match or storyline she wanted, she thought was a good idea. He probably told her yes, like everybody else. And then come showtime, oh, wait, we can't actually give everybody what they want every night. So some people got to fall by the wayside. So she was probably one of those people that ended up not getting her way, even though she was probably told it was going to happen. And that's probably where those outlandish, baseless comments came from. I'm just speculating that, by the way, but
Yeah, I think you should be named Sherlock Holmes because you just solved the problem.
Dun, dun, dun.
And
Great
here's the thing,
Hooligrim,
though.
everybody.
And here's the thing, though. I want to also add, like, there are certain wrestlers who do there are certain wrestlers who do vanity.
That's just you.
There are certain wrestlers that do like vanity searching. For instance, just give an example. I mean, I don't mean to drive away from AEW to WWE, but I'm gonna give an example. Karrion Kross. People who people on Twitter who don't even tag him, they blocked. Same thing that happened with my girl Cherry. I think she said something about him, but she never tagged him in it, and he blocked her. Now with me, I did say something, and I tagged him in it, and I got blocked. I also got blocked by Ryback too because I called him out. for disrespecting Drew and Roman Reigns about getting a ruptured eardrum, what happened last year, and he claimed the fact that he wrestled with a ruptured eardrum. I tore his ass out. I literally put him on blast and he blocked me. So
Well, just so you know, Ryback is busy these days doing TikTok live battles with Freddy Krueger, having people gift him donations.
oh god.
So that's where Ryback's ended up.
Okay. Okay, I'm actually glad you brought that up because please tell me you did not see the filter with him kissing Shrek. The Shrek filter.
Oh, I saw that trend with a couple of people on Twitter, not Ryback though, and it made me want to vomit.
Okay, good. Okay, I thought you didn't see it, but when I saw that, I'm like, what the heck did I just watch? I don't want to see that again. No, I'm good. I'm good. No, that just what did Shrek do? What did Shrek do to deserve that?
I'll tell you this. No, nothing. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, that is just. When she said that, I was just so angry. I agree with Christina. When you talk these things on Twitter, make sure that you have facts with it. Don't sit there and don't sit there and talk all that nonsense the way she did. I mean, that was just ridiculous.
That's just
my only reservation. The only redeeming points I'm allowing Britt Baker, because I'm really not a fan of hers in any way, shape, or form. But I will allow to see. The only reason why I'm kind of leaning towards maybe she put it on Twitter because maybe this is going towards a storyline coming up.
Well, maybe
could be.
You never know. You never know. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with AEW, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go to WWE country. Ladies and gentlemen. No.
Howdy, partner.
Hey.
Ride 'em, cowboy.
Sorry.
Oh, be careful. Be careful how you say that, Hooligrim, because lurking in the shadows is Naughty Blaze Radio.
Oh,
and he
I
is
love
not
Naughty Blaze.
and
Radio.
he's
the
very
best.
naughty. He's very naughty. Ladies
Oh
and
yeah,
gentlemen.
he really is.
He will take
It's
something
hilarious.
and he will twist it into something naughty, ladies and gentlemen. So
I
Yeah.
should have seen him in a podcast in our show on Tuesday. Oh my god. He was in rare form on Tuesday.
he's always in real
I
form.
watched the podcast. I was like, damn.
When is he not in real form? What is he not in real form, Sarah? What is he not in
I suppose,
real
yeah, that's
form?
a fair point. Fair point.
So what are we talking about?
Blaze Radio. He's in the chat always. And I'll tell you this much. He's a great content creator. You need to follow him, ladies and gentlemen, and go subscribe to his YouTube channel. He is something else, ladies and gentlemen. But I named him Naughty Blaze Radio because he is that and so much more. But
he
he's
takes a totally innocent comment and turns it into something naughty.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's why you named him that.
that is why he's named.
So now you tell me.
Yeah.
Well,
Thanks,
you've
guys.
been warned. You've been warned.
You guys been hanging out with the Canadian censor guy from last night.
Probably.
Oh,
Telling me
Anyway,
10 seconds too late.
yeah.
Somebody missed the bus, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway,
Somebody missed the cue. Somebody missed the cue.
So anyway,
Hi, I'm
ladies-
new here.
Oh, don't worry, Hooligrim. You will be educated in this cookpot. Trust and believe me.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that already.
You'll catch on.
Yeah.
You'll catch on. You're good.
Yeah, you catch on. Trust me.
Sink or swim, right?
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
You're gonna swim. You got this.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Wrestling Experience. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Earl Cole. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my co-pilot, Sarah. That is Hooligrim, and that is Christina, ladies and gentlemen. And follow them on Twitch at Hardcore Sports 1. Follow them on Instagram, Hardcore Sports. them on Twitter at Hardcore Sports Ed. And of course, subscribe to their YouTube channel and hit that like button. Hit that like button on my channel. Hit that like button on the Hardcore Sports Network. And we hope that you had a great Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday and Thursday evening here at the Hardcore Sports Network.
You got your days mixed up a little bit there.
Yes, I
Mr.
did.
Cole.
Yes, I did.
Thursday.
Yes.
You can tell
Thursday.
Earl Cole's probably said that about 3,956
Oh, God.
times.
Well, it's funny because I've been doing the Raw watch along now with him for a couple of months, and I always constantly expect him to say Monday. So when he says a different day of the week, it throws me off a little. It throws me off, and then I'm like, wait, no, today is Thursday.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, the days aren't off, Sarah. You are.
right.
Pretty much.
Oh no!
Yep.
Wow. So, like I said,
It's
ladies
very
and gentlemen,
true.
when you miss a day, you miss a lot here at the Hardcore Sports and the
Yeah,
Wrestling
that part.
Experience. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have some breaking announcement, ladies and gentlemen, to make, and I'm going to make it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, ladies and gentlemen, the Wrestling Experience will come to a close for the 2023 year, ladies and gentlemen, on Thursday, December the 27th. Or actually December the 28th, excuse me. It will come to a close on December the 28th, and I'm inviting the same people to come back on the streams, but we're going to add something else to it, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Storms will be here, ladies
Hell
and
yeah.
gentlemen.
Okay.
So,
Hell
so, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end the year on a high note, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to have Sarah. I'm going to have Hooligrim. I'm going to have Christina, and I'm adding DJ Storms to the end of the year party. So, ladies and gentlemen, pop the champagne, pop the cork. The Wrestling Experience will come to a close on Thursday, December the 28th, and we're going to have a party like nobody's business. Because on that night, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to predict the world's end. And, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to rewind. We're going to rewind Dynamite. And, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask my panelists this very important question. What was your favorite Wrestling Experience show of this year? What was your favorite show? I'm going to ask that, ladies and gentlemen, and so much more on Thursday, December the 28th. And don't forget to mark that date down on your calendar. And, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be giving out all the information very soon. Hooligrim, you are officially booked. Christina, you're officially booked. And, of course, DJ Storm is officially booked. So he's coming in, and we're going to have a party, ladies and gentlemen.
Hell yeah.
And we're going to get crunk. We're going to get crunk on Thursday night, December the 28th. We're going to get crunk, ladies and gentlemen. So don't
It's
forget
always
to
a
get.
party when DJ Storms is around.
Can I make an announcement as well?
Yes.
Sure.
2 days before, I will be going to Madison Square Garden for the WWE Live Holiday Tour on December 26th.
Wait
So
a minute, Christina. Wait a minute, Christina.
Yes.
Does this mean you and I are going to be in the same building? Because I'm going to the show as well.
Oh, you
Ladies
really?
and-
Oh my God!
Yes, Christina. We're going to meet each other for the first time ever
Oh
in
my
New
God.
York City. And ladies and gentlemen, Christina, that is not all, Christina, because on that night it will be my 200th appearance inside Madison Square Garden, and we're going to get crunk. We're going to
200?
get 200 appearance
You've
inside
counted?
Madison. What was that, Hooligrim?
You've counted?
Yes. Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes.
Oh, Christina, that is fantastic news.
Has it all been for wrestling stuff, or has it been for other things?
Yes, it has been. It has been for wrestling, Hooligrim. Yes.
All
Yes.
200? Wow.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes.
I won't be going alone though. I will have my older brother with me. So this will be.
Where are you sitting, by the way?
I am sitting in section 115, row 9, seats 3 and 4. That's where
I will be on the floor. I'm going to be on the floor.
Oh
Christina,
my God.
I will be on the floor on the side of the entrance where the wrestlers come out.
Oh, that's
That is
lit.
That is where my location will be. I will
Oh,
be
that's
on
gonna
the
be
They're not
lit.
floor.
airing. This isn't going to
Earl
be on
just coming
TV
in
though, is
flexing
it?
on everyone.
But
Frank,
that's okay. This
this
is gonna
they're
be
not airing this on TV, are they?
No, this
no,
is
no,
a
no.
house show.
This
This
is
is
a
a
house
house
show.
show.
This is actually the
Crap.
first one since I've went to since before the pandemic started. Like the last one I
Oh
went to, I think it was
wow.
in 2018, 2019. So I am very, very excited.
I'm very excited because we're going to be in the same arena. That's going to be fantastic.
I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
I hope
This will
I run into
actually,
you.
yeah, I hope so too. This will actually be the fourth wrestling event I went to all year. So I went to Raw 30 in Philly earlier this year. I went to SmackDown in Wilkes-Barre and I gifted my brother tickets for that event. And a couple weeks ago, I went to the Raw show in Wilkes-Barre on November 6th. So this will be my fourth show I'm going to with my brother
Oh
this year.
wow.
I can't wait. I cannot believe we're going to be in the same building. That is
Me
going to
too,
be
I'm so excited.
that's good. That's going to be wild.
It's
I
gonna be
expect to
fun.
see pictures.
Yes, ma'am. You
Oh,
can see. Oh,
definitely.
yes. And
Oh yes,
I
we.
hope I have a voice to appear on your
And
show the two
you
days later.
and you. I expect
Yeah.
to see pictures.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
I'm
You
definitely.
and you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll put pictures and videos.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry, when I
Yes.
go like
Well,
this to actually point at
No,
you,
you
it
go.
shows
You
me the
go this way because the camera. I needed to.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Here's the
Yes,
story
I had to make
of a
that
lovely.
announcement.
there.
I couldn't wait, so I had to make that announcement.
That's awesome.
No, I think this is gonna be awesome because I'll tell you this much. I cannot wait to go to Madison Square Garden. You know, every time I go to the holiday show, you just never know what you're gonna see. But and it doesn't matter what you see. You
Yeah,
always have a fun time in that arena. It's
absolutely.
always fun. The world's famous arena. I
Mhm.
cannot wait to go back to Madison Square Garden the day after Christmas. It's gonna be fantastic. We're gonna get crunk, Christina. We're gonna get crunk inside
Oh yeah,
Madison
we're gonna
Square
have so
Garden.
much
We're gonna
fun.
get
I
crunk.
cannot wait, and I hope we still have a voice after that show.
We're gonna see. I'm gonna rest up my little pipes, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for my show.
I can't promise that. I can't promise that because the last time I
No,
lost my voice was when Undertaker came back to Madison Square Garden, and I hadn't had a
uh,
voice in days. So I can't
well,
promise that.
you let me know, ladies and gentlemen. If you let me know, Christina, if you could make the show or not, and
I'll let you know.
if you can get crunk with us, and
Of course.
anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, that is the announcement, ladies and gentlemen. On Thursday, December 27th, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have fun that night, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna predict the world's end. We're gonna rewind Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna ask the panelists what was their favorite wrestling experience of the year. And I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot believe that 2023 is coming to a close. This
Me
has
either.
been the most fastest year I've ever seen, ladies and gentlemen, in my entire lifetime, ladies and gentlemen. Especially in wrestling, we have seen some things that we have never thought we would see.
Mhm.
Um, a wrestling organization not even 7 years old, debuting in London.
Mhm.
We've got new storylines. We got new heads of in an organization in WWE. Vince McMahon left the WWE, was pushed out of creative. So we got a lot of stuff going on, ladies. And
Mhm.
what does 2024 hold for us in the wrestling world? Well, we're gonna find that out when we begin January. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you all didn't know, as of January of 2024, ladies and gentlemen, Triple H and Endeavor will be in charge of WWE in full effect. So
Oh snap!
they're going to be in charge of the entire show from
Oh
Raw to
snap!
Wow.
SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen. So they're
Oh
going to
snap!
be the ones. So Triple H, if the show fails, you only could blame one person, and that is Triple H.
That's
If the
right.
show was successful, you're gonna have to go to Triple H.
Mhm.
So you can't blame Mr. McMahon anymore because those
Nope.
days are over.
Finally,
Um,
thank God. It took
those
long enough.
days are over, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the Survivor Series. The
Mhm.
Survivor Series, ladies and gentlemen, happened on Saturday, November the 25th, ladies and gentlemen, as we began the Thanksgiving, after the Thanksgiving holiday. And I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen, the Survivor Series was solid. It was solid. It was a solid show. Now there were two matches on the show that I felt, oh, should have had a little bit more time to go with. But we're going to discuss that and so much more. So, Christina, I'm going to ask you first. What did you make of the Survivor Series 2023?
I will say this: Survivor Series 2023. I feel like it blew 2022 Survivor Series out of the water due to the fact that we had not one, not two, but three returns. We had R-Truth coming back, which I was not expecting that, but I was really happy about that. I'm sorry, R-Truth is a legend for me when it comes to his comical skits and everything. Randy Orton, we knew he was coming back. It was just a matter of like towards the ending of the match. And the fact that CM Punk came back was a total surprise. We was not expecting that. And throughout the whole show, I feel like the women's and men's War Games matches respectively stole the show. The matches in between, they were okay to a certain extent, but those two matches, they stole the show. That was the whole purpose of the Survivor Series War Games matches. To solidify and end every feud that has been going on since the summer and beyond that. So I would say Survivor Series this year, it blew 2022 out of the water because of the unpredictability and because of the returns and everything else. That's my take on that.
Hooligrim, what did you think of Survivor Series 2023?
Survivor Series was okay. I tuned in just to see. I was really what I was interested in watching was the Gunther and Seth Rollins match. I didn't really care about anything else that happened on the show just because I don't really follow WWE that closely these days. And also to see if CM Punk was actually going to show up. I didn't actually think he was gonna, and so that was a crazy moment. But overall, the show to me was, if you take away his return, I thought that the men's match felt very choreographed. I thought the women did a great job. I'd give it. I'd say it was a thumbs up show, but it wasn't. Outside of that of CM Punk's return, there's not really anything memorable about the show. It was just kind of. It felt like it didn't really feel like a pay-per-view. Sometimes pay-per-views have that feel to them, like Raw after Survivor Series felt more of like a pay-per-view type of vibe than actual Survivor Series felt. Survivor Series felt more like just a typical kind of like a Monday Night Raw almost. I don't know.
That's a very good assessment. Sarah, what did you think?
I mean, really, the only reason, I'm going to be perfectly honest, and I know people probably aren't going to like it, the only reason why I watched Survivor Series was to see Randy Orton come back.
Yeah.
That was what I was looking forward to.
Oh,
I'm just being honest.
I forgot about that part as well. I forgot.
Yeah, like, I could really give a crap about the women's War Games match because there's no heat behind, there's no story behind it. You know, I felt like the three matches in the middle of the War Games matches were fluff. That's how I feel about it. I feel like it was just fluff. You know, we all knew Gunther was going to win. We all knew that Santos Escobar was going to win, and we all definitely knew that Rhea Ripley was going to win. Like, So I feel like that's how I feel. That's just how I felt about it. Now, the women's War Games match, it was very good, but it was like there was just no heat behind it, so to speak. So
Yeah, I'm going to jump on the same bandwagon as everyone. I thought that the 23 Survivor, like Christina said brilliantly.
Yep.
I thought that the Survivor Series was a vast improvement from last year.
Yes, it
A
definitely
vast improvement, especially the women's match. I thought that the women's War Games match was a vast improvement from last year. I thought that the three middle matches were predictable. They were there was no pizzazz to it whatsoever. We all knew who was going to go over in the match.
Yeah.
And the men's Survivor Series match to close the show, I thought that it was okay. We got Orton in the end of the match, which I thought was very bizarre, but okay. And then CM Punk come out, the place went apoplectic and everything else. And we're gonna talk about CM Punk, ladies. Yeah, they did. It went apoplectic, and
Yeah, it
we're
did.
gonna
It did.
no,
I
we're
mean,
gonna
I
talk
haven't
about
heard. I just want to say, I don't think I've heard a pop that loud since either Triple H came back from tearing his quad
right,
or when Stone Cold was still around.
right,
I think
and
also I also want to add when Edge came back as a surprise entrance in the Royal
Oh, yeah.
Rumble.
Yeah, that
That
was another
was
really loud one.
so unexpected. And I'll tell you this, when I was living in the Bronx, hearing that music, I nearly jumped out of my bed and screamed. I was not expecting that.
yeah. I'm looking forward. I was looking forward to him coming back, Orton, and he looked great. He looked great in the
God, the
match and
guy is
everything
He
else.
looked
jacked.
jacked.
And yes, he did. He's worked out in the performance
He
center.
looked
He was
bigger.
well.
He looked
Yeah,
bigger than he was when he got hurt.
yeah. He bulked up for the
Fast.
match, and he
Woo.
came back with a vengeance, ladies and gentlemen. And he was great in the match. So let's talk about the women's war games for a second. The women's war games match, ladies and gentlemen, was great. I had no issues with it whatsoever. Bianca Belair's team went over the boring control, ladies and gentlemen.
Or
And
control. Oh God.
yes, ladies and gentlemen, boring
Forgot about that
control.
one.
Oh God.
Boring control.
Yeah. I'm just not a fan of their booking, ladies and gentlemen. And Bailey, ladies and gentlemen, Bailey slowly but surely will be pushed out of that group because she
She fits
doesn't
in.
fit. She doesn't fit that dynamic, ladies and gentlemen. She just doesn't fit. And I think Kyrie Singh should be the leader of that control and put Bailey out and turn her into babyface and let her feud with the control for pushing her out. And that's the program I think the WWE should travel on. So the match was fine. The match was okay. Um, a lot of people didn't care for it. I liked it. I didn't think anything wrong was wrong with it. It was a vast improvement from last year. Of what much improved from last year. Women's War Games. So Christina, what did you make of the Women's War Games match?
I actually love the fact that they had the women start the show like they did last year. And the fact is that excuse me, that when it came to the women's war games matches, you gotta think. On SmackDown, they showed Becky and Charlotte with the tension. And excuse me, during the War Games match, we saw Becky and Charlotte, excuse me, hugging it out, like literally ending their beef, which I find it to be very, very heartwarming for me because I've been waiting for that. This was a long time coming. And I felt that they were finally on the same page, and that's what help them win the match. Now, as far as what you said before about Bailey getting kicked out of Damage Control, that is happening. That is really happening. I'm gonna put it on the universe. I have a feeling it's gonna happen tomorrow night on SmackDown because probably gonna confront Bailey for her taking the pin, causing her team to lose the match. Now, with that being said, I love the fact that the women's War Games match started off the show. All of them did a fantastic job, especially the spot where Io Shirai did with the trash can. That was not the first time she did that. She did that in an NXT War Games match. I think it was in 2019, if I'm correct. I don't know if I am,
Yeah.
but to see her do that was extraordinary. I thought she was crazy. I mean, you gotta think she's the genius of the sky for a reason, and for her to do that, that was like literally the best spot of the night when she did that. And I'm happy with the fact that Team Bianca came up with the victory. And that also strengthens the storyline of Damage Control being breaking up and possibly, no, not possibly, will kick Bailey out of the group, possibly by tomorrow night on SmackDown or probably before the year is over. So I have no problems with the match. The match was really great.
Hooligrim, what did you think? Okay.
Oh
Sarah,
no,
what
he
did you think?
stepped away.
Yeah,
Is he still there?
uh, I
I
think
just turned
so.
my camera off, guys. I've been battling a bloody nose all night, so I'm
Oh
like,
no, I'm so
yeah.
sorry.
No, it's this weather, my allergies and stuff in the dry air. So that's why I
Oh
keep
yeah,
turning the
yeah,
camera
yeah.
on and
That's
off.
around the time. I get it. I
Yeah,
get it.
I'm trying to get rid of it. So, no, I thought the women's war games match was good. I'm kind of the opposite of you, Earl. I thought last year's women's war games match was a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh,
but
okay.
I still enjoyed this year's women's
Mm-hmm.
war games match. I kind of had a feeling that the heels were gonna lose because Bailey kept pushing that, oh, Becky and Charlotte are going to get along, they're going to go at each other and they're going to fail, and that's going to cause, help us in winning. And it was like the opposite was true. Like you said, they put aside their differences, they did what they had to do, and they won the match. And I thought that it made sense that Bailey ate the pin, because now that's going to give the rest of Damage Control a reason to get, have her leave the group or get her out of the group.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with everyone's assessment. Um, as soon as Hooligrim comes back, we will. I will ask him about his take on it. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I can. Yeah, I agree with everyone's assessment. But I just thought that the match was much better than last year, the women's match. I didn't like last year's women's match for some reason. It just didn't leave an. It just left me a little tasteless, a little bit. This to me was a vast improvement from what we got last year. Um, so based on the entertainment level, Christina, what number do you give this match?
I would give it an 8.
Okay. All right. And Christina, I mean, and Sarah, what do you think?
It's okay to get us mixed up. I get it. It's fine. It's like my mom when she's calling me and my siblings, like she wants to talk to me, but she calls me the other three names before she gets to
Oops.
my
Oops.
name. I'm like, I know you're talking to me, Mom. It's fine. It's fine. But no, I'm with Christina. I give it an 8 as well.
Yeah,
I thought it was all right.
yeah, I'm going to be on the same wavelength as you. Hologram, are you back? No. Okay,
Maybe not.
maybe not.
Aw.
So we will move on. All right, Santos Escobar, ladies and gentlemen,
I got
Santos
with him.
Escobar took on Dragon Lee. Now, technically, this was supposed to be Carlito, but he got injured on a recent episode of Friday Night SmackDown, so therefore Nick Aldis had no alternative but to put Dragon Lee in the match. The match was fine. The match was okay. I wish I would have seen a little bit more in the match. I wanted more.
Yep.
It's like when you watch a good Broadway play and then they end it in an hour. No, 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 no. Come back on stage and give us some more because that was really good. I like what I saw. Please come back on stage and give us some more. So Christina, what did you think of the match?
I mean, I really love what Dragon Lee has been doing lately. And I really like the fact he's standing up to Rey Mysterio after all the horrible things Santos said to him and that Friday night in that episode. Oh my god. And for him to say that Dominic was right, I looked at him and I was like, really, dude? You really gonna go there? And for him to say that I hope your surgery didn't go well, I hope your leg is amputated, that made my blood boil so much. And the way Carlito came on and defended Ray, I really appreciate that. I feel like Carlito getting injured was probably part of a storyline. I don't know if he's really injured. I think it was part of a storyline to help him try to build up his character a little bit more since he's been gone for so long. And for Dragon Lee to step up to the plate to honor Ray, to defend Ray, I applaud that. I wish the match was a little bit longer for say, and I really like Dragon Lee to have won, but I get why Santos won because he just became a heel, and you know how with heels you have to make them look strong in every way you can. So I feel like the match was okay, but I wish it was a little bit longer, and that's my take on it.
Sarah, what did you think?
I love what Dragon Lee is doing. I think he's very good. I thought, like everybody has said so far, that the match could definitely they deserve more time.
Mhm.
And I mean, you could tell. Obviously, we all knew, had a feeling ahead of time that Santos was going to win because they need to build up heel heat for him.
Mhm.
So he's going to be a jerk. So kind of
Gonna be.
knew.
He's already a jerk.
Yeah, it's like we figured he was going to win. But I thought the match for the time they had, I thought they did a very good job. I just wish it would have went. I just wish it would have went longer.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. Hooligrim, are you back?
Is he there? Oh, there he is.
Is
he there?
Is he there?
I
Hooligrim?
thought it was him. I was like,
No,
No.
I don't
No.
think he's there. I wonder if he's having connection issues, perhaps.
oh
But, yeah,
man, that would
yeah.
suck if he did this.
Okay, well, we're gonna march forward here. So now the second match the third match we're gonna talk about, ladies and gentlemen, Rhea Ripley, ladies and gentlemen, Rhea Ripley took on Zoe Starks for the women's title. The match was fine. The match was okay. We all knew what was going to happen with Rhea Ripley, or she liked to be called Monday Night Mommy.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. So anyway, great chemistry, great match. I had no issue with it. Sarah, what did you think of the match?
Well, it was predictable and boring. We all knew Zoe Stark didn't stand a chance in hell. There was no build up to this. It was, oh, she won a battle royal. Now she gets to face Rhea Ripley at Survivor Series. There was no build to it. There was no story behind it. It was just them having, little interactions backstage and mouthing off to each other. That was it. So
in other words, it was
pretty much.
Oh my god.
That one, yes.
Oh my god.
That one, yes, that one. So, yeah, I like I said, I just
it was what it was. Christina,
like I
what
said
did you think?
before, the 3 matches in between were total fluff to me. I really didn't give a crap about any of them.
When it came to that match, the Rhea Ripley and Zoe Stark match, we already knew Rhea was gonna win. I will say this though, the makeup that she had on, I did not know that somebody posted on Twitter. It was a tribute to Nuna Vachon, which was a very nice tribute, I will say, because it had like the lines on it and the lip on the and the line of lip on the side. That was a very nice tribute to Nuna Vachon. I will give her props for that. However, the whole thing with the build up, it was very minimal. It was because, and mind you, I was there live when they did the women's battle royal to challenge Rhea Ripley for the belt. I was there live when that happened, and I felt that they should have built up the story a little bit more, like maybe progress it until the Royal Rumble. That's just me, but I feel like the match was like, it was okay. It wasn't a 5-star match. It was okay, and we all knew that Rhea was gonna win. I mean, Zoe did give it her all, but as we know, as the shirt says, mommy's always on top. Oh, I didn't mean to say it. Sorry. I didn't mean to say it.
It's okay.
Forgive me for saying it.
Oh gosh, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, the match was predictable.
Yeah.
The match was predictable, and I hate when they do that. No shock and awe in the match, ladies and gentlemen. So Christina, on an entertainment level, what do you give this match?
From 1 to 10, I would give it I would be in the middle, 5.
All right, Christina. Sarah, what do you think?
I'm Christina. She's Sarah.
No,
It's fine. We're interchangeable.
Oh, Talk amongst yourself, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting clamped. Anyway.
Well, here's the thing. I'm brunette. She's blonde. There's no.
Uh,
Go ahead.
That's okay. No, I actually am going to go down a little bit. I give it a 4.
Okay.
all right, I'm going to go down the entertainment level, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give this match a 2.1.
Damn, we went down though.
With your point.
At least you didn't give this match a 0 like you did the other match with 1.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I was a little generous. Okay, let's go back and talk about Santos Escobar for a second. Christina, on an entertainment level, what do you give this match?
On an entertainment level, I'll probably give it like a 6.
All right, and Sarah, what do you think?
Which match were we talking about? The
Yeah,
Gunther one?
Santos Escobar.
Oh, Santos Escobar. Yeah, I was gonna. That was definitely more entertaining. So I'd give it a 6 as well.
Okay.
All right, and I'm going to give it a 5.2.
You got 5 points.
The match was fine. The match was okay. The match was fine for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have to call it like I see it, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that gets that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, let's go back and talk about the women's war games. Sarah, what entertainment level do you give that?
I'd give that a 7.
Okay. Christina, what do you think?
For me, I give it an 8.
Okay. And I'm going to give it a 9.
Oh, that's a high rating.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's very much vast improved from last year.
Okay.
Very much vast.
I don't mind it.
All right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this next match. It is for the Intercontinental Championship. It was Gunther taking on The Miz.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. The match was fine. We all knew that Gunther was going to retain. And retain he did, ladies and gentlemen. Even though The Miz kicked Gunther not once but twice in the sweetest nitzel, ladies and gentlemen.
In the Sanjay dude.
In the Sanjay dude. He kicked him in the Sanjay dude.
Oh God, don't do that. Thanks a lot, Sarah.
Oh my God. Anyway, ladies.
I figured that was a pretty appropriate term.
Right. Well, I normally would say the beans and the franks, but anyway, but who's? Yeah, pretty much, ladies and gentlemen. That's we south of the border, ladies and gentlemen.
Or we could have said giblets and gravy. Right. Thanksgiving.
Right in the gobble gobble, ladies and gentlemen.
I just had to pronounce it. Oh my God.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I digress. Anyway. Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen. You just never know what's coming.
You sounded like a TV televangelist.
Oh, I have seen.
Good Lord.
Oh,
The later the night gets, the sillier we get.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, yes. But like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, if you miss a day, you miss a lot. Here in the wrestling experience. So, Hooligrim, first of all, welcome back. And we were talking about the Survivor Series. And what did you make of the Survivor Series?
It was good. It was nothing. Didn't I swear you asked me this already, did you not?
No, I did, but we were talking about the matches. We were talking about the matches, and I wanted to ask you something. What did you think of the women's War Games match?
I liked it more than I liked the men's. I was just there to see Gunther, really, and to see if CM Punk was going to return. I thought the men's match felt very choreographed, just very rehearsed. It felt like I don't know. I feel like, yes, it's a good thing. Like, obviously, Vince isn't really in creative anymore. However, if they're not going to make the War Games matches exactly how they were when Triple H was running NXT Black and Gold, then you might as well just leave the War Games, leave it alone, and not really do it. Because I felt like the men's War Games match just felt very, like, you could just almost, it felt scripted to me. It really did. It felt like they were just all going along with the whole plan, as opposed to actually having a wrestling match. I don't know. I thought it was kind of weird in a lot of ways, but the women, I thought, did a good job.
Yeah. On an entertainment level, what did you give the women's match?
The women's match, on an entertainment level, how entertained was I by that match? I'm gonna have to go. I'll give them a 5.5.
Oh, okay. All right. And we were talking about Santos Escobar and Dragon Lee. What did you think of that match?
At first, because it was supposed to be Carlito, right?
Yes.
Right.
And I'm glad that Carlito's back. I wasn't sure how I felt about the pairing, like them. Like, I just felt like Carlito was kind of just thrown. Like, I know he's been a part of that whole storyline, but I just think since he's just come back, I was worried about him being a part of that match, because, I mean, yeah, you're trying to push Santos, we get that, but you're gonna already hand an L to Carlito. Like, I didn't want that for him, so I'm glad that they switched it to Dragon Lee. I guess the match did what it needed to do. It's pushing Santos Escobar farther along in this storyline. They've got him in this heel turn, and so it, like I said, the match did what it needed to do, but I wasn't impressed by really anything in the match, and I didn't have really anything negative to say about the match. I was just kind of in the middle, I guess.
So on an entertainment level, what did you give the match?
On an entertainment level, I'll give it a 7.
All right. And Rhea Ripley took on Zoe Stark. What did you think of that?
I'm a big Rhea Ripley fan, really big. I think that Zoe Stark, the potential is there. For me, she's not there yet. I think it feels to me like they're rushing her a little too much. And I don't feel like I still feel like she could just be in NXT. I don't really know why she's on the main roster just yet, because she still seems green to me in a lot of ways. That's just how I see it, and I don't mean anything like against her personally or the effort she gives in the ring. I know that she will continue to get better, but Rhea Ripley is like, I saw this in her when she showed up in the Mae Young Classic. I was telling DJ Storms this when I was just on his show last week. She's a megastar to me, man, and I saw that coming. I didn't even know who she was, and when I saw her in the Mae Young Classic before, like, the whole persona she took on with the look, with the dark makeup and the short black hair, like, she just had long blonde hair, and she just looked like a young girl coming out of college, really, and that's pretty much what she was. But I don't know, there was just an aura around her, so I was very excited to watch her. Like, when I see somebody and I can tell that they're going to be somebody in the future, like, I really get excited to watch their career path. So Rhea Ripley has been like that for me, and then getting to see her wrestle at NXT TakeOver Portland was awesome. So didn't mind this. I probably liked this match more than the women's War Games match actually. But so I was entertained. I'm always entertained by Rhea Ripley. I think she kills her persona and everything that she does with the Judgment Day. She just nails it. And yeah, she's a star. I was really entertained. Actually, more than I thought I would be by her match.
All right. So on an entertainment level, what do you give the match?
I'll give it a 7.
All right. All right. So now we brought you up to speed. Now we're going to be talking about the Intercontinental title match. It was Gunther, and he took on The Miz. The match was fine. The match was all right. Another predictable match. We all knew that Gunther was going to retain. Christina, what did you make of the match?
Okay, first off, the fact that Gunther is the longest reigning Intercontinental champion of all time, and he really surpassed the Honky Tonk Man's record. I kind of wish Drew defeated him or Chad Gable for that matter, but anyway, I digress. But like I said, the match was okay. I actually thought, I know it's gonna sound crazy. I can't believe I'm saying this. I actually thought that the Miz was actually gonna be the one to dethrone him, considering the fact he has a lot of history with the Intercontinental title. I mean, back then he made the title prestigious when he was holding it back in 2015, 2016, around the time frame. And for him to do not once but twice the low blow and do the skull crushing finale, and he didn't win, I knew then and there that Gunther was going to retain. And the fact that Gunther retained while doing the submission, I wasn't expecting that. To me, that felt kind of weak. I thought he was gonna do like a power bomb or the chops that he does. That's what I thought. So for me, the match was okay. I just didn't feel like it was like a 5-star match to me.
Sarah, what did you think?
Oh, I thought it was predictable. I mean, we all knew Miz wasn't going to win. So to me, I mean, it's just if stuff is predictable like that, it takes the fun out of it for me.
Definitely.
You know, it totally takes the fun out of it for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought they both did a good job. It's weird. It's almost like they're trying to force Miz on us, like to be a baby face instead of a heel. It's weird to me. So, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was all right. Like you say, it was all right for what it was. And yeah, it was all right. It was an okay match.
Hooligan, what did you think?
So I'm a huge Gunther fan. Not by any means a huge Miz fan.
Here,
and to
here.
Sarah's point, I feel like Miz's whole career he's been forced on me. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
And so while there have been spots along the way where I feel like he's done better than other times in his career, I thought that I was actually really anticipating this match. This was the match I was looking most forward to of the show. And Gunther has done, like, every time I watch Gunther, I'm more and more impressed with him. And I was actually kind of let down with this match. It was not what I was hoping it would be. I knew the outcome would be Gunther, so that didn't bother me so much. I was really interested in seeing how he got there, and I was kind of let down. I'm not going to be honest. I've just got a really high standard for what I've seen from Gunther already. I feel like it just wasn't, out of all of his matches I've seen of him, this was my least favorite of his. So whether that's because of the opponent he had, I was expecting Miz to take more of an actual ass whooping than than Gunther actually dished out, because we've seen a number of superstars take serious beatings from that guy. So I don't know. I'll give it a 7.
Christina, what do you think?
I would give it a 6.
All right. And Sarah, what do you think?
I'll give it a 6 as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 6. I'm gonna go with a 6. Like I said before, it was what it was. Was it something I want to see again? No, no. It was one of those matches where it was just predictable. there was no shock value to it. It's just he's gonna retain. So what else you want me to say? What else do you want me to do? It's the same thing. So
I'm sorry. I'm going to say this right out. Sheamus should have won against them Clash of the Castle last year. He should have won it. He should have
I
won that.
agree. Yep, agree.
He should have won that belt. I'm gonna keep saying it.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Where
I
is
agree
Sheamus?
with you. Yep, I
He's
agree with
injured,
He's
you.
right?
Yeah, Sheamus is injured. I think he had a shoulder injury or something like that.
Yeah. Um. All right. So we're up to the men's war games, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you this much, ladies and gentlemen. The men's war games match was okay. I liked it. It was okay. Do I want to see it again? No. But Cody Rhodes' team went over in the match, ladies and gentlemen. Cody Rhodes' team went over, and Randy Orton came back. But what we got afterwards, ladies and gentlemen, was really something special to the audience. Um, Christine, I'm going to go to you first. What did you make of the men's war games?
I mean, I gotta admit, the men's War Games match, it really had to culminate the feud that has been going on for months between Sammy, Cody, Jay, and the Judgment Day. And also with Drew added into the mix, it really, really put a bar to where how personal it got. And I will say this, Jay coming out and going on top of the cage and doing his thing that he does, I was like, dude, really, you're gonna do that? He was hyping the crowd and everything. And I think to myself, okay, he's really over. But then, like, when it came to the match, everybody was waiting for Randy Orton to come back. I myself included. And when they had the plan for Damien to try to cash in, that's when Randy Orton's music hit, and I was like, "Oh snap! Here we go!" And that's when everything changed, the dynamic changed, and then can I be honest with you? I was expecting Randy to do the RKO on Jay because remember, he got taken out by the bloodline while Jay was in the bloodline a year and a half ago. So it would have made sense. It would have happened on there. However, that did not take place. And I felt like that when it came to the momentum, I thought Judgment Day and Drew were going to win. But with the whole faces winning this year, it was really different as opposed to last year when the Bloodline won and they were heels. So the dynamic changed a bit. I feel like the match was good, but the ending, it to me it was like, yes, I was happy that Randy won with this team, but I kind of wanted Randy to do the RKO on Jay due to the fact that there was a huge story behind it. But the ending of the match, when the camera panned out and the credits started rolling and you hear CM Punk's music, the whole dynamic changed in an instant. And his comeback became the most viewed social media video in WWE history. And that's how much of an impact CM Punk has made. So for me, the Morgan's match was good. I didn't like the ending though because I thought the heels were gonna win, but I digress. But CM Punk coming back towards the end, that was monumental to where we thought it was gonna happen, but we didn't think it was gonna happen, but it did. And I will say this: my brother said his name 2 minutes before CM Punk's music played, and we just stood in shock like this. We stood in shock like this, like for a good minute or so. So that's my take on the men's War Games match.
Sarah, what did you think?
I thought the men's war game match was good. Once again, I'm sick of Judgment Day. Like I'm sick of them. They're on Raw every night, multiple times a night, and it's the same crap over and over again. So I really hope that now with this War Games, or yeah, with the War Games match being over, that it's gonna they're gonna scale it back a little bit, especially with CM Punk and Randy Orton being back. I'm really hoping they're gonna focus more on those two gentlemen
I
and the
think
other
they did.
guys.
They did scale it back. There weren't any matches that on Monday night, which is a good sign.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they kind of had to. They really didn't have a choice with that being the first Raw that Randy Orton was back. So,
Yeah.
I just hope that trend continues.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I thought the match was all right. There was give and take, there was back and forth, and of course, I was, super pumped when Orton came out. But, and I, as excited as I, and happy that I am that CM Punk is back in WWE, I did not like the fact that that overshadowed kind of, Randy Orton's return. But yeah, I thought the match was good.
Hooligrim, what do you think?
The men's match was decent. I'm picky when it comes to War Games because, again, I look at it through the lens of having watched all these other classic War Games matches from the past. So that's kind of the standard. Like I watch. That's like the lens I view War Games matches through nowadays. And there's been a lot of good War Games matches, especially when Triple H was running NXT. We got really good ones, and that was nothing remotely close to that. It almost felt like Triple H wasn't even at the show. I don't know. There was just something strange to me about Survivor Series as a whole. When Orton came out, man, my God, I'm not sure I've ever seen him look better, which was crazy given the injuries that he had when he didn't look that good he didn't look even remotely close to how he looks now when he left. He looked like
he went back 10 years.
Yeah. And I don't know what they'd be giving the wrestlers to drink in WWE, but CM Punk too, he looked 10 years younger than when we saw him last in AEW in the summertime. It was like, what happened?
He looked younger now. He looks younger now.
CM Punk looked really good, and I was like, oh, he looked old and beat up the last time I seen him.
Yeah,
So, Hooligrim, on an entertainment level, what do you give the men's War Games match?
Well, the War Games match, like, because Orton's return happened, and when he returned, the ovation, the crowd reacting to him the way they did, that was really when my brain kind of shut off about the CM Punk stuff. I had completely seeing Randy Orton back. I got goosebumps. I was so excited for him. I was like, thank God he's back. We've needed him. Like, WWE has sorely needed him for the last year and a half, and completely forgot about any rumblings or speakings about CM Punk. So when CM Punk's music then went off a few minutes later, it was like, wait a second. That might be the first time in all my years watching WWE I've seen them bring back two names of that magnitude on the same night in the same show. I don't think they've ever done that before, if I remember correctly. I know AEW brought back Adam Cole and who else debuted the same night as Adam Cole and AEW? They did a two-fer that night.
It was Bryan Danielson.
Was it Bryan Danielson? That's right.
I think so.
So I knew AEW had done that, but I don't think I've ever seen that in WWE. And for it to be Orton and just for Punk to be back in WWE is like, I'm still like, as a wrestling fan, I feel like I'm being worked right now. It's like unbelievable to me that somehow, some way what I really feel like happened between the backstage behind the scenes is I feel like AEW, I feel like maybe Triple H called or Tony Khan made a call to WWE and to speak privately with Triple H and said, hey, I feel like they just swapped Adam Copeland for Phil Brooks. Because I don't understand how Adam Copeland ended up in AEW when I was convinced he was a WWE lifer, and I, for the life of me, don't understand how CM Punk, after just the charade and shenanigans that would just happen in AEW with his departure and the media show scrum and all the drama, and then just like a couple of weeks later, he's now in WWE, is like, what has happened? Have the planets all realigned, or what's going on? I'm living in some sort of alternate reality.
This was not in a 2023 bingo card.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you the backstory to all of that, Hooligrim. First of all, the CM Punk thing came rather quickly because CM Punk did contact WWE. Triple H and Nick Khan took Punk the day of the Survivor Series to a hotel, and they sat down with him and they had a Now I know exactly why his promo was safe on Raw. They put in a no nonsense clause in his contract. And
Yeah,
basically
it's
what
got
they
behavioral clause, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
I think
It is a
I read something
behavior.
about that.
Yeah, it is an ironclad in the clause, ladies and gentlemen. And what that means is if Punk does anything, and I mean anything, to draw attention from what WWE is doing, and it becomes drama in the clubhouse, CM Punk will be let go immediately. Nick Khan and Triple H are not messing around here. They have to answer to Endeavor. So
Hmm.
they had to put that clause in his contract. Now, they told him you either agree or we walk away. He agreed. He signed the deal, and the deal was done. That
That's
was
pretty good.
that was how that came about. As far as Edge is concerned, Edge's contract with the WWE expired. And what WWE did to Edge, and they were very nice to Edge because he's a Hall of Famer, they waived the 90-day compete clause. They waived it. And one thing, and that led the door open to Tony Khan called Adam Copeland at home, and he flew down to Tony Khan flew down to the Carolinas where Adam lives, and they spoke to his family, his wife, and everything, and everybody agreed that Edge can come back to AEW. So that deal was signed, sealed, and delivered.
I think if you're a
Um,
longtime wrestling fan, it's just very surreal that Adam Copeland goes to AEW and CM Punk returns to WWE just within the span of like a month of each other has been kind of wild.
Yeah,
yeah,
it is
and,
wild.
and
You never
it
thought,
is.
you never expected,
I
you
feel
never
like my eyes
expected.
are playing tricks on me. I'm like, am I imagining this or like, is this really
No,
happening?
you're
Yeah,
not imagining at all. It's really happening. It
even
really
though
happened.
some
Crazy.
even though some fans on Twitter they call Punk a hypocrite, but you know something, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of people in wrestling that are hypocrites. They always bash the company. They said they would never go back to them, and then all of a sudden they come up like a daisy. They come back on the show. They come back on the thing. So and then Matt Riddle tweeted out that WWE is going to have a lot of problems. And you think that I was a problem. You wait till you see what Punk does. And I'll tell you this much: Riddle's
That's
not.
the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah,
Exactly. Right.
exactly. And I'll tell you this much. I'll tell you this much. CM Punk, say what you want about CM Punk, but at least CM Punk did not go and get drunk on an airplane and accuse somebody of sexual assault like
Exactly.
Riddle did, ladies and gentlemen. So Riddle needs to get off his high horse.
Riddle
And,
is
and
mad that he is out of a job and that a guy like CM Punk, who he's known not to care for, comes in in one moment has the most viral viewed WWE clip of all time.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, the video got 71 million views,
That's
ladies and
bonkers.
gentlemen. I
That is
mean,
insane.
71 million people, ladies and
I've
gentlemen,
seen a
saw that
lot.
video.
I've seen a lot of people in certain chats this week talking about CM Punk not being a draw anymore, and I'm like, shut your ignorant mouth.
Um,
Wow.
first of all, if you let me just explain something before we get to the entertainment level. When he was when he before his departure in WWE, ladies and gentlemen, the fans always used to chant CM Punk. Every arena I ever went to, ladies and gentlemen, whether it was a live event or was a house show, or it was Raw or SmackDown, people used to chant CM Punk.
I can vouch for
Especially,
that. I can
yeah,
vouch for that because the show I went to November 6th, I've seen people in the crowd chanting his name, CM Punk. So I can vouch for
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, when the crowd is bored with something, they will chant that.
Yeah, they would.
They will chant that because they know that is what they're known for. That is what
Hmm.
they're synonymous with.
Yeah.
So, I just don't want you all to just sit there and talk about the. And Riddle needs to just stop with his comments.
Oh
We lost for Hooligrim.
Oh, lost Hooligrim.
Dang it.
Oh, we lost.
Dang
So,
it.
Okay.
so on an entertainment level, Sarah, what do you give this War Games?
The men's War Games match, I give it a 9 because Randy
All
Orton.
right. All right. And Christina, what do you think?
I'm gonna give it let me see. Oh god. I think I'm in the same boat with Sarah. I'll give it a 9 too, considering the fact that it had a lot of pent up anger, frustration that made everything personal with all the rivalries coming in. And once War Games ended, that's it. The rivalry stopped. That's it. So I'll give it a 9.
All right. Well, I'm going to give it a 9 too. I think the match was fine. The match was okay. Orton comes out and he RKO'd JD McDonuts, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't you mean
Hey,
Funko Pop?
that's what I call him, JD McDonut. Or the
Don't
Geico
you mean-
Caveman.
Don't you mean Funko Pop?
Yeah. I think he looks like the Geico Caveman personally.
Oh yes, I can never unsee that. It's so bad. That's the visual is uncanny. I can't.
Yeah.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was Survivor Series 2023. And that is going to do it for the wrestling experience, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to do it for tonight's show. I want to thank Hooligrim for coming on the show. I want to thank Christina, the Hall of Famer, Christina, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the Hall of Famer. And of course, Sarah, as always, you have done a fantastic job as being my co-host.
Thank you,
Each and every time we get together, you always hit it out of the ballpark. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be back in cyberspace, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be back on Monday night with Monday Night Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come to you from Albany, New York. And ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you join us for Monday Night Raw. Now, tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, if you all didn't know, tomorrow night, Friday Night SmackDown is coming to Brooklyn and the crown jewel of Brooklyn, known as the Barclays Center. And I'll be sitting at ringside, ladies and gentlemen, for Friday Night SmackDown. So I'll be in the audience, ladies and gentlemen, for Friday Night SmackDown. Don't forget, if you are in the arena, give me a wave. Give me a wave, ladies and gentlemen, and said, oh, there's the man that says you landed on the mothership. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's who it is.
Or he's beating the stew.
Oh, he's beating us too. He is beating us too. Out of somebody, ladies and gentlemen, I probably will be saying that in my seat, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen,
Whoa, he got hit in the Sanjay Dutt.
In the Sanjay Dutt. In the Sanjay Dutt.
Oh God, I'm never gonna hear the end of that.
Oh my gosh. Ladies and Christina's gonna wake up 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, what was that Sanjay Dutt?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Please don't say that. No, I'm not. Although I would like to beat the hell out of Sanjay Dutt, but that's
Sanjay Dutt. Sanjay Dutt. It's like when you do that Fousey though. Round your partner to the side. Well, nice that Sanjay Dutt. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
oh God, I'm dead.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I digress. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that was good.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to just take my two left feet and dance on out of here, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the Wrestling Experience here on the Hardcore Sports Network. We hope that you all will have a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, we will be back on the air on Monday night for Monday Night Raw. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, for Sarah and the Hall of Famer Christina, I'm all, ladies and gentlemen, and Sanjay Dutt says good night.
Now with the hottest show in the universe, the Wrestling Experience, with your host, Earl Cole.
Acknowledge me.
Coming at you with all the dope shit. freshest WWE content, and also the AEW. You are now watching The Experience, the wrestling experience. Now with your host, Earl Cole.